Ugh. Alright, I gotta get some news posted first. Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, Ayala Bros. What's up, Mono Flaco? Good morning. Oh, wait, I might need to move that closer. Sorry if that makes a squeaky ass noise. Alright, we should be good. I gotta share the stream link around because I keep forgetting to do that. Good morning, good morning. So if you're in the Discord, we're already kind of bearish. We were bearish already, of course. I think most people are. But we were especially bearish under 524s, so that gives us directional value towards 518. We've already almost made that move in pre-market here, so we'll probably be looking for just any excess moves outside of pre-market low in 518, but also kind of understanding that we are definitely bearish as long as we maintain resistance under the 524 area. It's kind of 524, 524.60s, so kind of expecting rejections of this today. I also wouldn't be surprised if we did break lower and then got a liquidity move, and then midday, end of day, you do get that move back up to go test top of the range. So I don't know. I don't think I'm expecting like a fat red day, just because it's so expected from everybody. But I would expect a test of 524s at the very least, whether it's right off the rip in the morning and it's a rejection, or we get a good retake of it and maybe we get some good directional control towards the upside. But 2 out of the 3 scenarios are definitely pointing towards more struggle against 524s or even new lows. So that's kind of what the system's calling for here, based on just super basic levels from the daily. But yeah, someone clip that. Please send that in the trade floor so I don't have to repeat that again to the Discord guys. But anybody in here in the YouTube stream, you can of course ask me whatever, whenever. Well, not whatever, but you can ask me almost whatever, whenever. Good morning and happy Make Money Monday. Sorry, that was a lot of M's to read. Effing ripping morning. Yeah, it's ripping, alright. Actually, you want to look at something that's ripping. You don't want to look at the equity market right now. You want to go to the crypto market. That's what's ripping right now. The dollar, just for any updates on that, of course, is getting some downside movement. I saw a couple of... I think I saw you post that, actually, Sand Dollar. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Elisa. Good to see you. Whatever. 23 months, I see you. Also, I think one of my favorite watches, and I already posted this for the premium guys. I really like this. So, I mean, I've just been marking these on every chart pretty much, but we're at the 3rd lower high here in a row here for IWM, and we are getting an early on rejection. So, basically, the short-term plan is that we at least touch this level, but if we break under this level, there's a chance we're going a lot lower, just because we've already gotten that lower high rejection here. And you could see the follow-up movement of once we finally get up here and reject, that's the kind of move that follows. Get up here and reject, that's the kind of move that follows. We've actually had a lot of consolidation here, so a further down move away, whether it's rejection and we drop or we hold and we push back higher, this is building up energy for the chart to move. That's all we care about, it's just movement. So I don't know if it's going to be down or not, but it's already looking that way with the rejection of this area. Again, not just over this price action, but you can see here in the pre-market, we're already down under 185s on IWM. So they've already done a move. It's exactly like SPY. We were kind of expecting it to either hold new lows, or even if we don't get new lows instantly, we do expect to struggle with the recent highs that we've had, whether it's previous day high in this chart that's happened to be what it is. On SPY, it's 524, 525 areas, but that happens to be around previous day low. So, yeah. You did, Sandollar? Thank you, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Damn, he gifted a membership and it actually went to Carter. That's good. We like Carter. Yo, yo, what's up? Good morning, Matty Ice. What's up, Carter? What is up? Anybody I might have missed? I don't think I missed anybody. I bet y'all are surprised as shit to see me streaming right now. Make sure to share that trade plan in the chat for me, Sandollar. If anybody clips that trade plan about SPY or IWM, please drop those in the trade floor. That does help me a lot, though. Dollar General, anyone? I mean, I like Dollar General and Dollar Tree. Oh, wow, these actually look a lot better on the chart now. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about them a lot in the past, and fundamentally, I've definitely backed them up probably more than anyone on the internet. But like I said, they're going to be slow movers. But good stuff, though. I like this ticker a lot. I like DG a lot. I like DLTR a lot. I think they're just going to be really, really slow. But I think both of these in comparison are going to be really good because everyone's going to be focused on everything else. Tech, banks, anything. Earnings, especially right now because we have earnings reports weeks coming up. Not just this week, but next week. I don't know if you guys saw my posts in the Discord or not. But we have a shit ton of earnings coming up. I'll show that here on the stream. This is just earningshub.com. You don't even have to sign in to see this stuff. It's really easy. Calendar, and then just, you can actually do this. Yeah, because fuck signing in. This morning we have, well, tomorrow morning we have a lot. Tomorrow after close we have a lot. Tesla, and you could really see this is where the big names start to pop up more and more and more. You have some here, you have some here, you have some here with Boeing, AT&T, PG, Pepsi, Gilead, Google, all that good stuff. But then you go over to, where the hell is the next week button? There it is. Then we start to get even more big names. You can see Microsoft, Meta, Qualcomm, Apple, Amazon. A lot of really big names that definitely move the market. Not just those. I mean, there's all over this screen. But just understand this week and next week, volatility will be higher. And you guys have already kind of experienced this with some of the recent market news. Regardless of what it's related to, I don't care. You're going to get a lot more expensive contracts. So just be careful of that. But it's also good for movement in the market. So it's not the end of the world. Every time somebody hears market volatility is going up, they only think, oh, expensive contracts. Yes, but we're also going to get some really good movement. So outside of that, it's not the end of the world. Plus, if you do happen to see, oh, these contracts are like 8 times more than what I normally pay for them, it's a really good natural sign, whether you believe in God or not, a higher power being is reaching down to you and saying, hey, maybe don't trade. Maybe just wait. Maybe let it breathe a second. So if you also happen to notice that on any of these days over the next couple of weeks, definitely take that into account. Don't sit there and just roll over. Headed to the post office work. Take your time, Maddie. And yeah, pop in whenever you want, man. Feels quite defensive now. Definitely pricey, but I save a little. Yeah, no, it's definitely, you should be defensive across the market right now. But don't be scared to buy like dollar cost averaging on companies you actually like. Like, I really like XYZ. I really like PayPal. I really like John Deere. I really like all these different companies. But you really shouldn't just dip into them until they're actually at good lows. So a lot of those are at good lows right now. Am I right? Probably not. Will I be right over the long run, though? Yes. So it's good to just buy a little bit, let some time go by, buy a little bit more, let some time go by, buy a little bit more. Not put it all in there at once, you know. Actually spread it out a little bit. Definitely be sure to share the stream link around, guys. I think everybody will be surprised I'm even here. Definitely drop a like on the stream. Like I said before, if anybody's here at the beginning, please go back and actually check that out. Maybe cut it up and drop a clip in the chat for me. If anybody has any questions on any of the levels for SPY or IWM or anything, please just ask. But yeah, that's a lot of the kind of morning info for you. I kind of already ran through most of it, but just in terms of market volatility, why, you know, all the different earnings reports coming out, you're going to definitely hear everybody and their mother type out earnings reports this week or earnings report today on this company. But you're going to hear that for the next 2 weeks because we are in earnings season. So get used to it. But then hopefully after that, some of the implied volatility will break up a little bit more. And hopefully that movement sticks around. So we can have the best of both worlds. Not super expensive, insanely expected contracts as well as good market movement. Because I don't think anybody's complaining about that. I mean, everybody might be complaining on the fact that we're dropping a lot. And that it doesn't look like Trump cares. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, this leads to a lot of good opportunity. Don't just take it as, oh, I got to trade SPX today or SPY or this. Don't just think about scalping and options. Also think about dollar cost averaging, owning shares over the long run, buy companies that you like. Yo, thank you, Carter. Are you not allowed to post links in TradeFloor? Oh, I see what you're doing. No, I appreciate that. I like these too because I didn't realize how many views those little clips got. I honestly had no idea. But somebody is spamming my stream clip link, so whatever. I'm not complaining. Now it doesn't I don't think it like adds to the views of my channel, but it's definitely nice because let's say someone, because there's a lot of people like this. I have a lot more mature audience in my chat. There are going to be people in there who just are going to work or dealing with their kids or doing something, and maybe they only have time to go in there and click on like a 30, 45-second clip, you know, so I'm not really complaining. I know my audience. WCCI, it's only 8 o'clock. I don't normally start my streams this early, and I also haven't streamed for almost a few weeks. Also, we don't really care about view numbers anyway. If I cared about that, I would sell my soul on Twitter every day. You can buy Nvidia now and sit on it for like 2 years and be just fine. Yeah, probably. I figured you might want it for levels. Oh yeah, thank you, thank you. No, seriously. I always appreciate when you guys make those clips for me. Also, we can repost it in here, and if anybody's like, yo, what's the plan, man? You haven't said anything. I can just pin it. So thank you for that, Carter. Got an 8 a.m. meeting. Be back after. No problem. How was the music volume, by the way? I have not run music on a stream in a very long minute. Is it too loud, too quiet? I kind of want it to be too quiet. I kind of want it to just be super background music. It doesn't need to be too loud. You don't even hear music. Okay, perfect. Step 1. There isn't even music on. Huh. None of you hear music. That's really weird because it's definitely playing. It's probably for the better. Alright, I'm gonna bump it up a hair. If there's definitely no volume still, this thing's broken. You hear it now? There's no way it's not loud now. I'm gonna just turn it down a hair. Just the chords before I raised it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mess with my volumes again, but it's okay. But yeah, so again, we just covered the game plans for most of the market. If anybody has any questions, please just ask. I'm literally just chilling here. I hear the ATC tower nearby in your background. Oh no, it's probably this like, yeah, the fan tower. Here, let me turn that down actually. Now you can hear the creakiness and squeakiness of my chair. Yeah, no, I turned it down. It is pretty loud, I won't lie. I hear it even in my like replays and stuff. Even in some of my like videos I've done, I hear it and I'm like, man. Like, it's not annoyingly loud, but it's like, you could definitely hear it. No, you're good. I know it exists. I know it's loud. Whoa, did not mean to do that. There we go. I don't have triple Q charted, so I gotta get that done real quick. DPI, my mouse feels weird. Whoops, almost messed that up. Alright, now this number does need to be perfect, so we're gonna put that down at a 10. Delete that. Put that. Just put it over here. And that should be it, besides these levels. Which these are just the same levels as the ones on the SPX, the SPY chart, the IWM chart. It's the exact same. We're just grabbing a little bit less, and this is just the less method. It's not really a real method or anything. I want less levels on my screen in a more rapid market, a more chaotic market, I guess you could say. So I'm just grabbing like lows and stuff, not really grabbing anything crazy. And that's good enough. There's a couple up here we could probably grab. I think we've been grabbing that one on SPY. And there's one over here that isn't on SPY and SPX that is on tech. This one's like a higher low, but on the other charts, it's flat. So I'm not even going to bother marking it. But it's cool because it lines up with the lower high over here on SPY and SPX, but on triple Q, it's a legit lower high. It's not even near that base, so interesting. But that's what I'm using that for. So now I know this is my no-no level, besides pre-market low, which is the exact same template. And this is why I always like find it funny when people are like, you know, do you like SPY or do you like triple Q more? It's like, dude, I really don't. There is no preference. Like, they're all the exact same. Now, I know the components are different. They move different. Maybe on different days they're different. But the templates of the levels and how they're moving between them are all almost the exact same. Maybe one of them shifted a hair, but they're almost all the same. Like, you can see the no-no level for this one was way up here. They've already lost it. They're at their next one. They got PML. So we know our next plan. It's under 518 PML. We understand it's already more bearish than bullish. And we understand if it does go up, that doesn't mean it's bullish. We got to see what's over 525, 526 is first. Then we could start to kind of understand, okay, bulls do have a little bit more pressure there. But where's the opportunity on this chart? You know, and the opportunity is if we do break lower, I'm sorry for all these amazing lines about to throw on your screen. If we do break lower, make a new low, I don't really want to be bullish again until I see a retake of that. Or number two, good price action holding over good areas, right? So there's our two areas where we can look for bulls. Exit all that out. I think I got them all. I did. The two scenarios for bears, which we're already kind of in one, is yes, we finally do get some upside. Yes, we do bump our heads against this. And yes, we do get some lower highs that do break some structure. And then we actually get some clean price action. But both of those are calling for like midday moves, basically. Midday calculated moves. This one, the only move that could happen here at the very beginning of the day, besides just shooting up, rejecting, of course, would be, of course, the loss of pre-market low and outside of 518. Outside of 518, this definitely picks up momentum. But that's why we're also looking for that retake. Because if that retake happens, then we know that, uh-oh, bears are getting trapped. So we know that 518 and 519.26, basically pre-market low and that level, we're in between two walls here. A good amount of movement, too. Don't look at this and be like, oh, we're going to get a boring range day. It's like, dude, we're going to get some good movement today. This is not that bad of a range. Even if that is what we're doing. I'm literally speaking as if that's the worst case scenario. And if that's our worst case scenario, that's really not that bad. To already be directionally bearish before the day has begun. But you could see, though, it's the exact same thing for this chart. We can remove this. And I could add a million more emerging candles on this and all that good stuff, but I just wanted to highlight kind of the basics of it. But yeah, pre-market low, 430. So this is like the 518 on SPY, but clearly not the same number, not the same price action. IWM, same story. Got your PDL, PML, kind of in the same area. So that'll be a big key area to see, do we get any bounces there? Are we going to reject from there? Are we going to continue from there? Does it get worse as we reach the next level? What happens? My fan needs a cloaking mode. I do need a quiet fan. I honestly don't mind it. I kind of like the noise. I think at first I noticed it, and then over time I just got kind of used to it. It's like falling asleep while raining kind of thing, except it's not rain, it's my fan sounding like it's about to blow up. Good morning, Adam. Good to see you. And yeah, make sure to wave hello in the trade floor on Discord. I know there's a lot of you waking up. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are just like, what the hell is he doing streaming? But we get that. How was everyone, though? How was everyone's Easter weekend? I was actually insanely sick all weekend. I was like sweating while sleeping, not eating. It was awesome. Today, though, feeling great. Hydrated, everything. How was Easter, though? I know some of you don't care. I know some of you do celebrate. Bummer drag. You know what I saw Easter as? I saw it as, damn, bro, our funds from Thursday aren't going to settle till Monday. That's how I saw it. I even said it before I saw the posts online and stuff. I was like, man, I think it was the one day I streamed last week. I was like, damn, this sucks. You're not going to be able to trade your money. Because if you use it all on Thursday, you won't have it for Monday. Fabulous weekend. Found most, if not all, of the missing eggs. Damn, you had like a legit egg hunt? Oh, bummer drag that I caught the bug. Yeah, no, I'm fine. All good. I was a little bummed, though, because I was like... I was wanting to stream on Thursday, but that's when it started hitting me, and I was like, fuck. It's like, of course, dude. As soon as I'm starting to try and stream again. God reached down and said, no, my son, it is not time yet. One more week. Crazy egg hunt. Damn, I don't even know the last time I've done an egg hunt. Half sand, half grass. The hell? Do we have any stock market questions, any chart related questions, guys? I have gone over the plans about twice now. Just kind of chilling. If anybody has any questions or anything to add on top of anything, please let me know. I'm here. Yes, chart. There we go. There's a great request. I might need to fix mine in terms of like... Oh, no, I don't. I don't need to fix a damn thing. I might need to update myself on what the hell we're doing, though. So that one's down to here. That's where that lower high is at. I'm more or less just highlighting these just so I know where I'm at. So we got one lower high. We got... Whoa, what the hell? Two lower highs. Which this one's actually not as pretty as the SPY, Triple Q, or IWM chart, but that's, of course, it's because it's SPY futures. It's already got some of its session moving. But I actually like this. The fact that you have... People always are blind to this, and it's really weird, but a really easy, good rule of thumb of seeing like something that's like getting tired are gapped up small body candles. But something that's interesting, too, to the other way around is like a lot of people look at this, and Chad, if you already know this, don't answer it, but... This day opened here, right? And then went up, whatever with the wicks, closed here, right? We can both agree on that. I mean, it's a fact. It's not like we have to agree on it or not. But the next day, today, is opening here. So is that a gap down or is that something more? Is that something more significant? Because a gap down is just a lower open, but this is not just a lower open. This is lowering over the entirety of the previous day, the meat of it at least. So this would be a pretty strong gap down then, right? This is what we call a bearish kicker, but it's a very significant open. And that's why this morning when I started on my SPY analysis, who even asked that? LOL. I've already kind of stated like, yes, this morning we are bearish and we've given ourselves parameters for what to be when something happens. So like if 525, 526s break, I'm probably not as bearish as I was right now, right? And because we're starting out just above our pre-market lows, just above that next level, on the SPY chart, it's 518. On SPY futures, it's probably whatever that next level is. 5192, so basically 5200. This is the next area under. So we're kind of at a spot where it's like you should already be bearish and expecting this to hit. But also, and I want to show you this on the SPY chart, it's a little bit cleaner. But same thing for the SPY futures chart. If you see a loss of pre-market low and that next level, whatever that level may be, on this chart it's 518. On that chart, I think we just said it's 5200 or whatever the pre-market low is. Not just a loss of this, but if you see a retake of this, that's not a good sign for sellers short term. This might even lead to a good boost into that resistance, and then they give you that lunchtime turnaround, and the next thing you know, we're either consolidating to the right or we are getting the end of day move down. So that's also in the cards too. But I would more or less already be focused on the fact that we are going down. There is that chance that we go up and smack this for lower highs, but it's like you don't have a lot of room for getting good buying opportunity above this. And I really wouldn't look to be a buyer until I do see this lost and retake, not just randomly buy this because there's a candle holding it, right? I want to see it. I want to see it lose that and retake it, because that tells me, okay, there's something here. There's a potential liquidity grab, but we'll see. So that little template I just gave you, you can use that on basically all of the charts today. SPY, triple Q, IWM, and then of course, like I said before, though, the numbers, the candle, they're all going to be different. But the template itself of like the context of what we're using from days before to now, that's what you should be kind of focused on. It's already giving you the drop down in the pre-market. We're already bearish. Now it's, do we hold pre-market low? Do we extend our selling from there? Do they want to get a better buying or selling opportunity, closer to the levels? Also, any of my new BB Theory playlist guys, you know exactly what I'm talking about here with the risk reward being closer to the areas. Which, again, if you are a member of the YouTube channel or a lifetime member or a course owner and you're in that other private server, like, you have access to all this, so please check it out. It's not like I hide it behind a wall. Microsoft, was that a dark cloud cover on last week's weekly candle? Good question, Letterbuck. How you doing, Letterbuck? Good morning. Weekly candle. Was that a dark cloud cover on Microsoft's weekly candle? Hold up. Let's get to a chart that I can actually see what I'm looking at. We're going to get a fib. We're going to go from the... Oh, what am I doing? I'm going to go from the low to the high. And I honestly like to do both with you, Letterbuck. I like to do the open to the close, just to kind of tell myself, all right, 36967. And then I draw the other one to get the fullest extent of it, 36967. So now I know, okay, it's like 66 cents. It's really nothing that crazy between the two, just because it is kind of nice to know that, because sometimes it is to the cent. Sometimes it will go back up and hit that 66 cents mark, so you never know. But yes, that would be a dark cloud cover based on how we look at dark cloud covers. You have here's the open, here's the close. The next week opens higher, and it closes under the previous week's halfway point. So yes, that would be considered a dark cloud cover. If you wanted to... Oh, I messed that up badly. Let's fix that. What is that? 01? Okay. And then it was 66 or 67? We're just going to type 67 because I can't remember. I don't always like to leave these, but you can. And now, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, like the templates of using your contacts. This is the same setup, just different levels, different candlesticks, different chart. But none of that matters. It's the template. You already know you're bearish. Anything that moves up to this will be a better risk reward trade for more downside, or vice versa. If you see the retake, okay, upside's definitely possible here. But you have a definite place that you can be decisive at. Right? Oh, wow, that's insane. Also cool that it lines up with kind of the meat of the previous day low. You have it like right here, but this was really the previous day low, and then it just lasted the very end of the part of the day, just kind of fell, rejected. So there is an actual previous day low down here, but it's kind of nice to note that it did sit above this for the majority of the previous day. Draw your pre-market low, of course, wherever the hell that's at, 363.35. That is a pretty clean chart. So why I'm drawing it this way, Letterbuck, and you should do the same thing. Like, this is what you're planning around. Now you can go add all your emerging candles, all your other junk, and then you can make those like targets and stuff. But I would say the priority is definitely around this area. If you do see, of course, better risk reward trades, definitely want it to be around here. That little liquidity grab talk that we gave. Definitely want to focus on that around here. Of course, us just following through the floor here is also perfectly fine, considering we've already gotten good clean rejections. Also, if anybody goes back on the stream, we talked about the market volatility, what to expect over not just this week, but the next week as well, with all the earnings reports coming in. It is, of course, earnings season. It is on the prowl. I know you guys love hearing that word. Great video. Thank you for putting it all together. Yeah, that playlist was a lot, but I'm glad you enjoyed. And I hope you guys actually take that info, because I've already had 3 or 4 people take advantage of that info and already post some pretty crazy sized gains, and I'm not one to sit here and repost them or go over them or brag to people about it, because that's just not who I am. It's also really egotistical and toxic to do that. Also, it applies pressure on my traders. If I go out there and I'm like, hey guys, look how fucking badass everybody is in my chat, that's going to put pressure on my guys, and I don't need to be doing that. So, but like I said, anybody who is taking time to actually go through the info, you're someone who's beyond the levels. You're more on the understanding of them now. Then you're gonna love that playlist, because it's all right there. And that's what I like about our strategy. There's actually thinking behind it, and you could literally go back test any part of it too. Prove me wrong, prove me right, whatever you want to do. Yeah. And guys, we have about 13-14 minutes before the market opens. Good morning to, of course, anybody in here. Be sure to drop a like on today's stream. Share the stream link around on Twitter or Discord or wherever the hell you're at. And yeah, it all helps. Be sure to click on the pinned message of the YouTube stream. That is, of course, just a quick clip of the plan if you happen to miss out on anything that we covered earlier. I've actually gone over most of the plans 3 times now, but I know not everybody clicks on the stream at the same time, so it is nice to just have that ready. And good eye, by the way, Letterbuck, on the dark cloud cover. I always get so frustrated when people can't get those right, but I'm honestly very relieved that you got that. They'll be like, is this a dark cloud cover? I'm like, dude, the candle has to be a higher open. I'm like, these opens are flat. Good morning, Dr. J. Good to see you, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, my foot's asleep. I actually was going to post some individual tickers, but with how many of those different earnings reports are popping up right now, I might have to wait. Because I have a bunch of charts, honestly, ready to go, but I think I'm going to focus on the ETFs, indexes, and stuff today. Yep, good morning, guys. Thank you guys again. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream. It does help out a ton. I even turned down my industrial grade fan for everybody, so it doesn't sound like I'm chopping air in the background every 5 seconds. How was everyone though? What's everyone got on their watch list today? Anybody have anything on their watch list, or any particular levels, any priority levels that you have? Anything you're just taking a gander at? Anything. We talked about SPY, a lot of the indexes in here, a couple different tickers, market volatility. We talked a very small amount about long-term buying and like how you should be thinking about the market right now. It's not just a short-term options market. For solar, yeah, I know that solar sector took a big hit. A lot of them are kind of down at those lows, consolidating, building back up again. Probably not as good looking as that DG chart you showed, but probably on that same path. Same pacing too. When I say that, when I say path, I mean the pacing of it too. Like, it probably will be pretty slow, but solar has those days. Lately, more have been down, but it's all good. But yeah, do we have any questions on any of the SPY plans or triple Q or IWM, anything like that. And UAL 3 weeks out, strike date soon, but not yet. Oh, you're looking at United Airlines as well? Yeah, I need to take a look at Boeing today. I kind of forgot about that one. But I saw it had earnings. It's either this week or next week. I did see it in the earnings list. Good morning, Don Dew. Good to see you. Dan Dew. And yeah, we've been streaming for almost 37 minutes or so. So market opens here in about 9-10 minutes. Ooh, right as I said it, 9 minutes. Just for a reminder, if anybody's just now tuning in, there is a quick clip pinned to the top of the, I don't even know what you call that, the live chat of the YouTube stream. I always like to see the market open in the Discord chat too, because it's always like, all right, who secretly held swings? Who's up? Who's down? Man, I found a really cool way to block bots on different social medias. There's like a hidden setting on most of them that have it's like a setting called like blocked words or muted words or something. And you could type words in there that bots are using, and then bam, not as many bots. At least visually, they're still there. Just not in your face. Boeing was before market open on Wednesday this week. Good looks. Yeah, I knew I saw the ticker. I just couldn't remember exactly what date it was. I even almost wanted to guess Wednesday of this week or next week. But nice, good to know. Yeah, I would definitely pay attention to that. But also, on the other end of things, you might not have to as much, because a lot of people tend to think Boeing whenever they think airlines, but Boeing's not the only airliner. They also they're not the only ones who supply planes. And a lot of the bigger airlines, especially because of the ETF, JETS, Boeing is not actually related to a lot of them whenever they get that market movement. And this could be called a beta. This could be the beta of the stock as well, connected to its sector. And this is the same thing as like Apple to SPY. SPY moves up. There's most likely Apple's moving up, has a very high beta. It's the same thing for Boeing with the JETS ETF. It's not really a part of it, but I always like to mention that because every time we're like, oh, UAL's killing it, DL's killing it, Boeing is not always with them. Sometimes Boeing isn't doing jack diddly squat when those airlines are killing it. Now, whatever reason that may be, I don't know. I really don't care. It could be a multitude of things. Probably a multitude of things just because of all the, bad news surrounding them all the time. But they're kind of like UNH. They're a stock we all know that will have huge bounces and it'll probably never go away. But it has had some dark clouds around it for a while. But that's also one of the best things to buy. Or companies that you think aren't going to go anywhere and have very dark clouds around them for a while, because a lot of people are going to have it out of their mind, written off. They're not going to be reinvesting again. Could be a really good opportunity. Now, those are a lot riskier in my opinion, UNH, Boeing, but I do like that. If you could find that on a really good company, that template, you're set. That people hated me when I posted Palantir. People hated me when we posted Redfin. Redfin was definitely a crazy one. That one and PayPal. I've never had so much hate for posting PayPal or Redfin. And it was crazy how well those did for a very long time. And I still believe in those just at the right prices. Again, that's another big thing too, is don't just buy shit because you like it. You need to be buying it at the right prices, not just buying it when it's at all-time highs. Do I recommend Palantir at 100? Fuck no. Good morning, King Carnage. Good to see you, man. How you doing? You're watching RKT. That's Rocket Mortgage, right? I believe that is. I also like the one that Leland posts because it's connected to the interest rates. UPST Upstart. It moves with interest rates pretty well. For the better and the worse. Doing pretty well. That's good to hear, King Carnage. Good morning to everybody. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. Share the stream link around. It definitely helps out a ton. The market is about to open in a few minutes. If you guys are interested, there is a clip that is at the top of the live chat. Tons of charts already covered. Just feel free to ask or look. What's up, my people? What's up, Dom G? How you doing? My people. Doing pretty well. Good. Well, I didn't get any crazy messages from you guys this weekend about Easter, so I'm assuming everyone's alive. Like I said, assuming. It's probably going to be a surprise seeing my YouTube stream up, too. My new challenge is that every time I see micro posts, I'm going to post a chart or something just to move the message up. Just got back from Amsterdam. Damn. Oh, I think you were I think you were mentioning that, or maybe that was someone else. How was it though? How was old Amsterdam, Dom G? Nice weather, everyone was out. Huh. That's pretty cool. What all did you do in Amsterdam? Did you partake in a little ganja? Did you go to a bunch of bars, do some bar hopping? What'd you do? Yo, what's up, Lag to Death? Good to see you, man. Lag to Life. Hello. Alright, Lag, I want to see some solid updates from you in the trade floor like I did last week. Because I'm not joking with you. Those were very high IQ updates. You might not know it, or maybe you do. But I want you to know. I saw a lot of those too. Carter had a bunch of them. React has always had a bunch of them. Kevo, of course. Leland. But a lot of good directional posts last week, even though I wasn't super active at all. Pretty much just posting charts and then that was it. You just downed 2 energy drinks. I got this. Went to the oldest distillery and got some great ribs. Dude, that sounds like a really good time. What are we talking, beef or pork ribs? And yes, there's a huge difference. I mean, both slap, let's be honest. Oldest distillery, though, that's pretty cool. Pork? Nice. Honestly, there really wasn't a wrong answer, Dom G. I was just interested. It's not really a wrong meat selection there. No diddy. Honestly, I'm just glad to be here and stream with you guys again. We had that dude. I didn't even look, by the way. The one stream we did last week, I don't know who was pumping out my URL, but that was the most viewed stream in over 6 months. And it was close. It was almost longer than that. That was crazy. Most unique viewers, too. I was pretty impressed. Because all I did was share it in the same spots, and that shit blew up. I don't even know why. Blew up is like 300-400 to me. Market's open, by the way, guys. Market is open. I'm going to split my chart up here, actually. Because why the F not? Uh-oh. Oh, that's right. We moved it to daily and... Why did I do that again? We're going to go back to this. I feel like I kind of like the context on the 5-minute chart, though. The extended hours trading. I like to see that context of, hey, we moved down, dummy. It's good to know. Oh, is that you in the chat, Aviator? That has to be Dom. That is Dom, okay. Alright, hold up, guys, sorry. Fuck. This chart's gonna be a little funky. And what can we... Oh, before I draw, guys, what can we draw on this chart? Before I look at Aviator's amazing pictures, what can we draw on this chart? On this right side chart. It's very easy to see. If you're someone who's been in my group for a while, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Did I hear the Pope passed yesterday? Yes. You would actually never believe where I heard that news from, but I'll get into that later. But yes, I did hear about that. Pope Francis. Rest in peace. I'm not Catholic, but rest in peace. Alright guys, answer my question. What can we draw on this right side chart? Somebody who's paying attention and has access to their fingers. What can I draw on this right side chart? I want to see a couple people type it. There we go. There we go. Yes. Yes. Whoops. Sound like an evil villain. Yes. Which, it's funny because, like, a lot of this should line up with an area we've already talked about. So it's not like you need to mark it, but it's not going to hurt because also, on the other side of things, and maybe I should let y'all into this too, but outside of going up and testing this for an easy little test, what happens if we just fall? What can we use this fib extension for? Very funny that it lines up very close to a level already. But what else can we use this fib for? Let's say it just falls through the face of Earth. You know, just drops $7. What can we use this for? Outside of course, having other levels there, but what else can we use these for? Exactly, targets. And I like to kind of throw this at the end of that because it's not just seen as like, oh, what if we just keep selling and they're used as targets? What happens after the selling is done? After we've gone through one or two of these? Because I'd say 2 is a good rule of thumb. 1 is mild. 2 is a very good rule of thumb. But as it comes back up, or as it starts to slow down against these targets, it can also be seen as points of reversal. Now, I wouldn't trade the very first time it reverses from a fib extension of a gap down. That would just be a little crazy. But it is a good rule of thumb. If you get a piece of context, right? Oh, it retook the minus 100% extension. Now it's retaking the minus 50%. See, now that you see that's 2 things, not just 1. So you want to use that to kind of stack context in your favor. Well, not really in your favor, but, you know, to where we actually understand what's going on. So I'm going to move this chart to where we can see a little bit more. It's not going to lie, that's kind of hard to look at. And there we go. So, first few minutes, a little indecisive. We're already directionally what, guys? What are we directionally before the market even opened today, everybody? We are directionally bearish. Exactly. Could slow down. Exactly. So I don't like to just say targets in terms of like, oh, if you're a bear, these are targets. Like, no, it also could be seen as a slowdown point for someone who hasn't traded at all or is just, you know, just watching, whatever. So it's just good context. But right now, we are already bearish. We already know that. We're just looking for more reasons. But yeah, these will be really good targets as well. If we do just keep dumping, we'll see. Oh, I wanted to check the contract prices. That's right. Oh, shot to the heart. These are expensive. Yeah, I mean, I kind of covered this for like 20 minutes already, but yeah, contract pricing is going to be a little up right now on most chains. This is why it's a really good idea to look at other chains. Like IWM actually looks pretty prime. Let me check those contracts. Oh, those are pretty juiced too, actually. IWM's not as bad. Just for a refresher for anybody who has no idea what IWM is or what we're looking at on that. We are looking at previous day low, which I don't know why I'm drawing a purple line. We have lines that go perfectly straight without my needed guidance. And then the pre-market low. So we already know we're down, but now we're looking for this to give us more down. So if you're looking at IWM, you're wanting to see under 184.30s. I might as well just keep both of these up. Shot to the heart, and you're too late. Palantir scaled out most at 84% plus gains. Calls, Jesus, dude. Why is it every time I come back to streaming Palantir, $Sand posting like a new crazy gain on some swing? Was that just over this weekend, or did you have that for multiple days before the weekend? $Sand gives love a bad name. From Friday. How the hell did you buy those Friday? Bro knows Jesus Christ, like, personally. Called him up and said, yo, I know it's Easter, but could you hook me up on some options for Friday? I know the market's closed. Bro's got a direct call. No, you're good, Dom. It was honestly already kind of dead in there, so you're really not you're really not hurting my feelings. Let me pull those up though. I kind of forgot you said that. I'm gonna pull these up to my main screen so I can make fun of things. Yo, this looks good. Actually, let me move this over. What the hell? There we go. Damn, he chunked half that down and said, all right, now I'll take the picture. Yo, those flowers look AI generated. Don't even lie. No, it looks amazing, though. Oh, yes. I was going to say, I need another food pick. What am I looking at here? Is this... These are the ribs. What's all this other stuff back here? By the way, guys, we just touched that area just below. So, very, very high impact area here. I would not be surprised to start seeing really fat moves very soon. If a bounce happens, don't be surprised. We are at an area where you could bounce. If you're looking for more bearish confirmation, you've already been given it multiple times. We're under today's open. We were already bearish before today's open. All we've done is move down since today's open. Dayman Raymond. I wonder how much or how far away you were from Tobias. Yo, this guy looks pissed. Yo, who is this? Guy in the back's like, yo, don't take a fucking pick of me, man. Damn, you look like you had a good time. Send it, Netflix. Yo, is Anabolix about to type up a scam bot message? Does Anabolix not look like a bot name? We'll see here in a second. I'm gonna stare till they post. You swear they are not? No, no, I was just making a joke. They were like, I say that sometimes with Leland's vacation pics. Like, some of his pics look so unreal. That's how insane they look. Like, I swear half of Leland's vacation pics are like backgrounds for like your Windows for your computer. Come on, anabolics. We ain't got all day. Oh, wait. No, wait. They might have already typed once, actually. Hold up. The name seems a little familiar, right? Nope. I'm entirely wrong. I'm still sticking with the bot message. Yes! I knew it! Oh, wait. Fuck, it's a real question. Has anyone ever received a notification on TradingView that says order rejected, null on object valuing T? What the hell? To learn more, please contact your broker. I am trading futures and have a Webull link to my TradingView. When I try to fill an order, I keep getting this message. Well, I don't know about you, but I have this thing on the internet called Google. And I'm going to do it with you. Google. The error order rejection null is not an object evaluating blah 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 blah, and it carries you probably. Do I just link bro this? I feel like you would only get this if it was like a non-real account, but he just said it's a futures account. So I don't know. Yeah, he needs a yeah, I like this advice. Yeah. This is why we have Sandollar. The real adult is around. Here comes that potential bounce, guys. See if we get a better buy here for shorts at 521s. If they give a good pop over, it's a very good chance we're going to be moving up a little bit more to 523.70s. How is everyone in the stream so far? Like I said, definitely drop a like. It helps out a ton. Share the stream link around. That helps probably even more. I don't really know if likes even actually do anything. I'll flip through the weights here in a second. Right now, it does seem like we're all trying to curl. But I wouldn't get too excited yet. Almost got down to that minus 50% extension, which does kind of point out to us there is a little bit of selling that's already occurred. Just because, again, to actually reach that, you do have to actually go down. If we get a break of 518, we understand that 516 is on the plate. Chilling, my man. Just hurry up and wait. You're good. I'm just checking on all of you guys. I know you're all on your own pages and stuff, but just giving a little check on y'all. And good job, Dondu. Shout out to Dondu. Last week he had one of his, I think he said it was his biggest gain. You guys can go check that out on your own, but good job, Dondu. Again, that is all credit to him. I don't like to sit here and be like, because of the chat's progress and veterancy and blah, 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 blah. No, I mean, he went out and did that on his own. Not going to take any credit from somebody like that. But good shit, Dondu. Very happy for you. RKT is down 5%. We want that, right? We want it to go down? So we can buy it up. Let's see if the continuation of bears happens. Dude, I think my leg's fallen asleep twice in stream already. Affirmative. Bleed, Rocket, bleed. Oh, I was like, where's my Discord? I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I moved it. I can't find a number to call Webull, only able to message them in the help center. My brother in Christ. Oklo took a good hit too. Yo, at least Anabolics is being nice. We gotta take that, right? Alright, let's flip through the weights real quick, because I need to know what's going on. Alright, so tech just sitting slightly above pre-market low. I would definitely say if that breaks pre-market low, we're most likely moving lower. Of course, this is a heavy pull on the market. Healthcare is a weird one. They opened and then they dumped under PML, and now they're consolidating under PML. And it's even worse because that first candle rejected literally previous day low. So I would not be surprised to see that dump, but this thing loves to go the opposite direction of the initial tech move sometimes, so be very careful watching this one. But I would definitely focus on tech and what it's doing. Comms are already breaking that new low as well as the previous day low. So that one's already trying to make more ground underneath. God, we're using some crazy words today. This is the main sector to like to look at. Of course, you have XLY, your discretionary. This is your Amazon Tesla sector, but I don't want to look at this one this week just because you have Tesla, I think, this week and Amazon next week, or both this week. No, I actually think I had it right the first time. Tesla is tomorrow. And I believe Amazon's next Tuesday or next Wednesday. But yeah, a lot of earnings reports is what I'm getting at. IWM looking good, like it wants to just dump to that next level. But it's kind of that same scenario like SPY, where it's like it's at that next area and it just needs that little bit of extra push. This is rejecting its next area, though. This is just sitting at it. Yo, thank you, Sandolar, for helping that person out. financialjuice.com/home. And the only news we have today is Fed's Goolsbee speaks on CNBC and Trump's White House Easter egg roll, whatever the fuck that means. Is he streaming the Easter egg roll, whatever that is? Is he streaming this? Is anybody educated in here know? What? Oh. Okay, nothing new. Haikyuu, though, did we get to watch this? That would be funny. Oh, the G20 meeting's happening. That should be like a 2-3 day affair, right? 1, 2, not seeing it here. That's why I love this little button right here. Click that. Oh, it is already on. Whoops. It's just showing a lot. That website's cool. It's free. Also, briefing.com. Super free. Super useful. I like to just jump down and read this instantly. Like this, too. Like, this kind of ties into something you were talking about. Returning refused jets from China. Halted shipments of certain models to China. Like, big companies are having to react to this stuff now. They're having to, like, remanage how their company's working. That's why everyone's kind of anticipation of, like, yo, what is Elon going to say? What is he going to have to do? But that's a lot of major companies. You're in round 2 of Palantir weekly calls. Damn. They are live streaming the egg roll today. I wonder what the egg roll entails. When daylight savings coming, I hate waking up at 6. Yeah, what is everyone's opinion on that in here? Do you guys like more hours of sun or less hours of sun? Because I'll be honest, I kind of like when it's darker longer. That came out wrong. It comes with egg well. I'm in Arizona, less sun, please. Yeah, I won't lie, I kind of like the less sun. But that could just be because I'm me. Deuce says more sun. He wants more sun, alright. I mean, neither side's right or wrong. I'm just curious what everyone's preferences were. I don't really mind the sun. It's the sticky humidity that might come with it. Because being hot and humid, that sucks. I think we've talked about that many times in here. The amount of people that hate the heat in here. I totally respect it. The swamp butt people get his... More sunlight. Alright, we got another more sunlight. Hot and humid sounds like a dating reality show. We gotta copyright it. Yeah, I'm from Cali, so I don't have that humidity problem, thank God. Oh, it's not like that in Cali? Damn, it's just Texas and Florida? And parts of Arizona? Honestly, I heard Arizona's pretty similar to Texas weather, so I don't envy anybody from there. Florida, I've been there multiple times, and it's actually sometimes worse than Texas. It feels like you are in a swamp. And I swear, 3 out of the 4 times I've been to Florida, it's always like an AC issue. Like I get to like someone's house, or there's like a place I'm going to stay at or something, you know, and there's no AC. It's like, do we just not believe in AC in Florida? Like that blows my mind that would even be a thing. If you were like, yo, I'm from the UK, you know, we don't really have ACs and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I understand that. That makes sense to me. But just heat is crazy. We're in the big 2025 and there's people without an air conditioning in the United States. You gotta keep, you know. It's crazy. Be careful, guys. We do have one little touch of this, one little push back up, but we didn't really get any retakes of any lower highs right here. So that is one thing that kind of freaks me out on this one bounce. But now we got to see on the other side of things, do we continue to make another low or not? Because if we don't make another low, then this could be seen as a potential short-term base build to go smack their head against that resistance. But we'll see. Not the liquidity grab I was looking for, though. That's not really what we wanted. So, kind of anticipating more downside until proven wrong. Is kind of how I'm looking at this. Oh, let me do that. Double clicking does that? Alright, good to know. But is that okay with everybody? Does that make sense to everybody? I'm not trying to be like, yo guys, be bearish and then, you know, be super vague about it. Does that make sense? I met a guy from Alaska who was visiting. It was in the 40s and the guy was in shorts and a t-shirt. Jesus. What a legend. Honestly, I'm a guy who can do like the shorts as well. Or no, I'm the other way around. Sorry, I was about to mess my own body up. I could wear like a long sleeve shirt, but I could do some shorts. I mean, wait, I keep fucking it up, dude. I was gonna say I need pants. I can't speak English, though, because I'm acoustic. But, yeah. I feel like if my legs get cold, it's GG. My arms, totally, dude. Could go through a fucking ice age. My legs get even just the slightest amount of cold, GG. I don't know what causes that, or maybe I really am just acoustic. Are you 90% legs? No. I am not 90% legs. I am all legs, yes. Oh. Alright, we were at that fib extension. Poor blood flow, diabetes. Jesus. Yeah, scare me now while you're at it. Impending doom. It's like, oh, that's weird. I met a guy who was like that, and he died the next week.
Let me post the levels in the chat just to make sure everybody's on the same page. Yeah, I want you guys to know that too. Like in the Discord right there, I said if no new low. I want you to know when I'm typing that, I'm also in my mind. There's a variant of that no new low scenario where you get that liquidity move. So you kind of want to see the liquidity move more than the no new low scenario. You want to see the new low, and then you want to see it retake that low. What you don't want to do is it make that new low, enter shorts too late, and then it fucking shoots back up. But, I mean, even then, though, you're at least decisively wrong, you know? You can instantly be like, oh, well, I'm wrong. Instead of just sitting there like, oh, I hope it goes back up. Like, no. Or down, whatever scenario you're in. But, like Letterbuck, I saw you were looking at that, too. Personally, just because that's made a little bit of a base, that's not really that amazing to me yet. What you want to see is that liquidity move, then the base build. Right, you want to see that reason on the chart pop up first. We haven't really had that yet. They had a little bit of base here, but like I said, no conviction because they couldn't even get over the lower highs. So that is one thing that bothers me even before going down again. So take that into account too next time, and that's not just Letterbuck, but everybody. Because like seriously, try to think this is like I don't know, like water is dropping down the Titanic. It's going down, it's filling up its little tanks at the bottom of the ship. Can't go back up. Now it's rejecting that. Like, there really is, like, levels to this. Outside of your other levels. It's just, I don't know if I'd be marking them all the time. But it's good to at least look at it like that. Oh, Gold Creation. Look at him. Got in early this morning. Results in review. Done for today. Busy day at work. Stay safe, brothers. Game plan laid out for us in the levels channel. Hold up. What did he post? Oh my god, look at this guy. This little nerd. Let's go, dude. And thank you for actually posting on the right channel. It is amazing to me how many people still post their shit in Trade Floor. So I appreciate that. It's literally right under Trade Floor. It's a literal click of a button. So thank you for keeping that organized. And amazing job, Gold Creation. I love when you guys get in there and post your stuff quick and you can kind of just not take the rest of the day off, but focus on whatever else you have for the day. That's my chair creaking, by the way. Do I write with my left hand? No, I am right-handed. Has anybody been confused at all during the stream? Because I've been pretty directionally to the downside. I've been pretty much saying we do expect to just keep dropping. It's just what pace are we going to get? And what scenarios can play out where? Is everybody's on the same page? We understand that we should be falling today. I've been saying this since before the open. And again, this isn't because I'm some smart guy who has some secret hidden trick. This is the system. This has nothing to do with me. I want you to know that. There is no ego behind any callouts or any I don't even want to say callouts. I hate that word too. And you need to be the same way. You don't need to be looking at this and going, guys, did you see this? Did you see that I called this out? Blah, blah, blah. Did you see that I was right? It's not about being right in front of others. It's just about being productive, being efficient, making sense of things, understanding what's in front of you, understanding what you're trying to do with what's in front of you. Not about trying to be right, trying to be cool. That's not really what we want. King Carnage. I still need to add you. You said CS2 is the only thing I got for the day. Yeah, I saw you, dude. I was up late one night, and I saw your thing was on there, and I was like, what? I was like, King Carnage plays Counter-Strike? No way. You literally said the same thing everyone says to me, too, when I message them about that. They were like, oh, don't even worry about it, bro. I'm shit, blah, blah, blah. It's like, shut up. I don't think you know, but I work nights. I'd be up at random hours. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, you're probably the perfect person to play CS2 with then. Because there's some nights where that's me. I'm just up randomly. Up at weird times. I don't even know if I have insomnia or anything. I really have never gone to a doctor or anything, but there are nights where I am not asleep. Like last night, honestly. I didn't even sleep. All right, on IWM, guys, we have gotten pretty close to that first target, and we're getting very close to it on SPY here as well. So if you are someone who has been shorting, just understand we are at a part of the chart that can be seen as an initial target after these new lows have been made. Not just on the small caps here, but also on SPY. We broke the 518s on SPY. We maintained under the 184.30s on IWM. We've now made it almost $1 down on here. Not quite. Not the greatest to move here. Pretty nice in the last 3 candles, but in terms of distance, not crazy yet. But this chart's looking great. If you think about it from the open, we've moved from 521. We're almost $5 down already. But again, just make sure you guys are checking out the stream, reviewing anything, asking questions, checking out some of the playlist. Very clear on direction, and it was not saying you should just be grab inputs right at the open, but you should have a good, clear context on why we should potentially go down today. And I said it before the stream too. There's 2 out of 3 things telling me that we're definitely going down today. But then we talked about, again, to what extent, though. You know, we don't know that. I can't Marty McFly that out of my ass. I don't know. I don't know how far we're going to go down. But that's why we have these fib extension targets, to give myself these areas, right? And we talked about this before, like, getting to this, that's a good normal target to hit, right? This may be a little crazier because of the distance it has to go, but also normal, right? So if we're hitting one of these 2 targets, what should we expect? And we've actually shorted. We've made it to one of these 2 targets. What can we expect? That we've done a good job. We can move on. We don't have to sit here and keep trying to short it over and over again. But also, let's see if we have multiple contracts. Good to have that for runners. I had to take my stinky dog out, so I missed the blood. You might get more here. You might get more. But yeah, already almost a $5 move from the open. We're almost down 2% on the day. We're down at $10 here on the dot. From previous day to today. It's pretty crazy. That's a crazy number to look at. I say crazy, but we've been seeing these numbers a lot recently. Now, like I said, guys, these could be seen as targets that I would not be surprised to see some slowdown out. So kind of nice that we're getting this touch and hammer. Kind of nice that we're getting this almost touch and a couple green candles popping up. Even if this isn't going to just shoot back up, that isn't what we're talking about. It's nice to see that little bit of pulling up, because you can also see that as not just buying, but what's on the other end of that? People selling, people getting out of their positions, liquidating. So that's also allowing these to show up. So that doesn't mean that we're popping back up. It's just, it shows that our level is important. It is impactful. We're reacting to it. So what happens if we break under that? More selling is going to occur. Yes, I would be out of Poots here. I would be out of most of Poots here, King Carnage. Most. You could definitely micromanage the rest of the position, but you definitely should be out of most. If you had taken positions at the rejections of either of those areas. Whether you're on SPY and you're looking at the loss of 518s. Whether you're at IWM and you're looking at the break of 184.20s. I give that one a little bit more chance, but I definitely like the SPY move a lot more. And I even explained that beforehand because it was just the spacing of it was not as good, if that makes sense. Not even $1 on IWM. Over $2 on SPY. You always try to wait till it touches your target. If you go back on the stream, you'll hear me say it too. But you're not always going to get it perfectly touching it. That's why I even said, like, on this one before it even started wicking. And I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I'm so good at this. Like, no, I'm just being serious. This is how you should know it. But we were pushing down. And you can go back on the stream. Not joking. You can hear me cover this at the exact moment this was still a fat, solid red candle. Then it started wicking. I only say that because I know that this candle is either going to dump instantly right off the go. Or it is going to give us this little bullshit candle. And it's going to take 5 whole minutes to do it, right? So what are we going to do for 5 minutes? Are we going to be selling all the way down and then the last 30 seconds pop back up? No, it's going to do that for a majority of that candle. So if you see the pacing of a candle is slowed down as it's close to a target, don't sit there and fuck around. Take your gains. Or most of them if you have multiple contracts. But definitely, I mean, if you're trying to make it to the perfect, like if you're trying to be OCD about it, I'll tell you this as someone who is OCD, you're never going to get it. You're never going to be perfect with it. So if you're OCD, take that out. Because I'm telling you right now, you are not going to get perfectly touching your targets all the time. You need to do it a little bit before. The pacing of it, though. Pay attention to the pacing of the price action as it's reaching certain levels, right? Would you say the pacing picked up or slowed down on this candle? Picked up. Would you say it slowed down on this candle? Most likely. And you noticed that too. You saw it was a big red candle, started wicking up. That instantly tells me, okay, the pacing isn't just making more lows anymore. And we're really close to my level. So in this instance, yes, we perfectly hit the target. In this one, we didn't. Or it touches and you hold and hope it blows through, which is even dumb. Yeah, that is definitely dumber. But I mean, at least, again, and this is what I say about most people in chat. Like, most of the time, you guys understand what you're doing and what's kind of the mistakes. Maybe there's just a couple things we need to kind of micromanage or fix or talk about. But that's still big that you're at least aware of, like, okay, well, hold up. This was, like, a pretty dumb opinion, or dumb option. Definitely should not take this. But good question, King Carnage. Good question. And there's no need to ever feel bad about any of that shit, dude. I can't stand when people are like, oh, you know, I'm not good at this or that. Or it's like, dude, everyone has made these mistakes. Especially a lot of people in this chat who have made these, like, level-to-level mistakes. Like, they'll see 3 levels break, and then they'll be like, alright, I'm buying calls because it had a green candle appear. It's like, bro, what? You just saw 3 levels break. What are you doing? We need to see a little bit more than just 1 green candle before I call it a base build. And I'm using that as an example, but there's 100 other examples. Like I just talked about pacing with you. You know, it's really easy to say, oh, well, this is the low because it slowed down. No, this could just be where it pauses and then it makes more lows. Right? Like right there. It literally just made a new low on SPY. So it's not always going to be like a perfect touch and then, oh, that's done. That's why I was also explaining, sometimes this isn't just buyers. Sometimes this is literally just sellers. This is sellers liquidating. And then you do get that continuation. So this could be a buffer. That's why you sometimes hear me say there's a buffer area here could be seen. It's a lot of the time at the tail end of a move that's already happened. You expect a move, then some buffering, then some move, then some buffering, then some move. Consolidation. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, guys. Definitely appreciate all the comments and the likes and stuff. Also, a cool little link at the top of the live section here. You can click on it. It's just a quick game plan on what the plan was for today on SPY. Of course, in the first 40 minutes, it's worked pretty perfectly, but not every morning starts out like this. Also, as explained earlier, the volatility is a lot higher. Implied volatility is a lot higher. Contracts a lot more expensive. You always want to wait for an absolute bottom. Sometimes it works, often doesn't. FOMO on the bigger moves. Yeah, that can be a big thing too, is like seeing a big move happen and then you're like, oh wait, it might have more left in the tank. Like, you gotta really get that out of your system. Like, you really don't want to be the guy who's following the end of a move, the tail end of a move. And you know what I mean. I'm not talking about like a little ass move. I'm talking about like, oh, you just witnessed a down 2% day and you're over here wondering why it isn't keep continuing to go down. It's like, dude, what? You're late. You need to focus on the smaller moves first, though. You know, like, do you know how to capture this move on the 5 to 1 minute? You know, if I go from the 5, then I go to the 1. You know, do you know how to capture that move? You're like, oh, well, we had this dip here. There's that 50%. There's a low. That's where it should reject. Oh, it didn't make a higher low. Bet. All right, let's make another one. Oh, rejected that one. Oh, oops, didn't mean to do that. Here's this one. You can see we're still working our way up to get to this one. So sometimes just drawing a fib and just seeing like, are we at the 50%? And then using that directional value to help you out. What have we done recently? Oh, we broke under the open and we have lower highs. Awesome, I'm directionally down. Let me find a spot to pin that down and get in. Whether that's part of this move, whether that's part of this move, whether that's part of this move. It's not going to be perfect every time. Might not ever be. But the whole point is to get to a spot. And this is why I highly recommend going through that BB Theory playlist. Because I talk a lot about this kind of stuff. Because anyone can say, oh, it broke above that level by calls. It broke below that level by puts. There's a lot more thinking beyond that. It's not just calls, puts above or below level. We're not cavemen. How did you do that where the fib levels just changed without having to go in and select, deselect? That's a good question. How did I do that? I just draw down. So I grab it, draw down, and then that's it. And then you can right click it. I think what I did is I clicked it so quick. It looked like I did that in one, but I think I like fat fingered it and it like did that. But it looked like I did that. There is a hotkey though. I'm not good with the hotkeys. I can never remember them all. Control Z is the only one you really need to know. Also, with options, especially short-dated ones, slow movement decreases price, so if stock movement slows down but hasn't reached your target, it may not be worth waiting to sell. Yeah, that's again kind of why I bring up here, let me do the 5 minutes, a little easier to look at. That's why I bring up that point, too, of not just saying, like, oh, this is wicking? That's buyers. Like, no, it could also just literally be people selling. And that's why the price is going up. Liquidating their position, it going back up. And in turn, and this is what Dr. J just said, decreasing the price movement, slowing it down. So as it gets slower from reaching your target or not even reaching it, this makes it even harder on your contract to work towards a more profitable number. You know, I don't know how you would put that. Let's say you're in a contract that's 110. You know, let's say it gets down here, it's 130. I promise you, in this wick up, it's probably at your entry or even higher than your entry, which is not good, because that is showing you. And then now right here, like, you might think, oh, well, this is only 20 cents away. This should be the same price, right? No. It's like two completely different pictures being painted here. Well, now it's not, but you get this wick up. That's the contract price going back up, or going down in your case if you're a short seller. And then as price is going down, even though it's in the same 20-cent range, the momentum, the pacing of it, the, oh shit, we've just settled. If this makes a new low, this really could have some exponential gains start to flow into that contract. That's what I mean. But good point, Dr. J. I really am serious, though. I highly recommend the BB Theory playlist if you have not checked it out before. If you're someone who's beyond marking the levels, you know how to draw all this stuff, and you want to get further beyond that, not just drawing it, but understanding it, how to better use it to take better advantage trades, please check it out. Yes, it would be valid here. Any level break, lag. Any level break. And now it helps if the level has more context behind it, lag. Like this one here at IWM's 184, we know that's the pre-market lows. We know there's other historical levels there. You know, so that is definitely seen right here. This is definitely seen as an open range breakout, right? Same thing for here. Oh, we have one here. Awesome. I would draw it on the 5 minute though. I'm on the 1 minute chart right here for this SPY chart. I would draw it on the 5, just so you get more. I'll just draw it with you. You really can't even draw it yet. Oh, I guess you could. So you got from open to the low. Then you go to the 1 minute. And we're going to back test both. So you go from here and went down to the low. Or that's actually going to be off a little bit. But you can see here, though, the candle that went up and rejected it, the inside bar, the breakdown of that, of this. Still no breakdown of the big candle that kind of started this inside bar. Now we're getting it. So it's kind of like you had short-term confirmation on this candle. This was like getting it. This was like warming up. This is it starting. This is it warming up even more. Delete that one. Go back to the 5 minute. Zoom in. So we did the one from here to here. Now we're going to do the next one. That was number 1. Now we're going to do number 2. Level to, well, current low. We don't know that this is the low yet. You wouldn't know that. We're not Marty McFly. So let's see here. So you get the dip. And not really much to go off of on this one here, lag. You can see here we do have a little bit of a, I'm not even going to say low or high. I mean, it's just a good clean rejection. But, like I said, this gives you directional value. Instead of just looking at this and going, big red candle break level. Now you're like, okay, well, big red candle broke level, and then it made a calculated lower high, not just here, but also here. Oh, well, I'm on the SPY chart during that example. But not just here, but also sort of down here. Now, does that make sense on why you would maybe get a better, more clear trend on your first open range breakout fib rather than your second? What does that tell us, lag? And anybody who wants to answer, this is all theory, of course, theoretical, but think about that for a second. You know, and think about running around a track. I always like to use running as an example, and I don't even know why. But our first open range breakout, we get a good kind of 50% right here. It rejects, it goes down more. Same thing happened here. Why is this one more directionally lower high than this one? This one's definitely just flat. Why is that, though? Also, good timing on this question line, because we just keep dumping as you're asking all these amazing questions. But why is that, though? Why do we get a more clear trend here and not as much one here? Why is that? It's because sellers are more in control. They don't need to display the, oh, we're a lower high. No, they're just consolidating, dumping, consolidating, dumping. But this can also point out to us that maybe a liquidity grab is coming soon. Because if we get a lower high, then we get some flats, then we get a new low, and they retake that new low, and they get over this flat here, then we're looking good to 518. If we don't get over 516, and we don't get over this purple flat, then we're not getting to 518. Does that make sense, everybody? It's actually pretty clean, I'm not gonna lie. Still no calls for potential buyers popping up anywhere. I haven't really had to break up the whole, oh, we should just keep dropping conversation. So TA today has been pretty easy. Not really anything difficult yet. But I'd also like to point out, realistically, not every day is like this. You were hoping for a 0.5 reject here, got close, but not exactly at the level, but it does exactly. But you need to take that into context, though. Like, what did you get on that first time you did the 0.5 rejection? It did a lower high and it did touch it. Awesome. The second time, what did it do? The third time, what did it do? And take that into account, because as you get further down and down, or even on an up day, lag, and anybody else listening, use that. You know, if you get higher lows and then the next one's a higher low again, it's like, okay, well, buyers are still super strong, super present. But yeah, it's just kind of cool. You can also use kind of like it's like peeling a layer back and seeing more. It's weird. That's why I always feel weird talking about it, because like I keep repeating the word context, but it really is that. Like, it really is just that over and over and over again. Sometimes it's deeper, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like today where everything is just super surface level. There's nothing really to kind of peel back. It's just all right there. I hope that makes sense, though. I know I'm horrible with words sometimes. Sometimes I'm like right on it. It's like I'm some genius. And then other times it's like, what the hell is this guy saying? Sometimes I just can't speak English. So hopefully that makes sense. And remember, Letterbuck, we've been on the downtrend today, so we should still be thinking in terms of more downside movement until something changes. I know it's really weird to say that because we're down 2%, down $11, down about 6 from today's open. But just remember that. I know you're saying that to kind of keep ourselves kind of aware of it, but I don't want you to fool yourself or anyone else. But that is an insane thing. He said the SPY is 3 cents off of his 515.21 level. Weekly mother bar midpoint. Is that really what that is? Is that why he has that? Oh, okay, that is why he has that. What a legend. Yeah, Lag, I'll be honest. You made my day when I was reading some of those posts from you, dude. Like, I'm already proud of some of the other guys, like React, Carter, all that stuff, but it was really awesome seeing you post that. Because it always blows my mind how many people sleep on that, who are even in my chat. Like, I always brag about the midterm retest. That's what that is. What you're trading when you do that, that's the midterm retest. That's my favorite type of trade. Because it's the most, not obvious, but like it's out there in the open. Like, literally everyone can see it. It's a flying duck. Everyone can see it, right? But not everybody knows how to take it down, right? Maybe not all of us have the same shotguns or the same pellets. Some of us are shooting slingshots at it, right? Not everybody has the same arsenal to hit that duck, to bring it down to earth, right? And that's really what this shit is. It's just a slowly calculated way of trading lower high retest and higher low retest and stuff like that. But sometimes they're not always easy to see as a lower higher or higher low. Sometimes it's within a trend and you're like, oh fuck, what is this? And it's really nice to have that where you have a level break or a open range break or a current day open break or, you know, just something impactful breaks, has a nice directional move, comes back up. What does it reject? A really good calculated way is that halfway point. Not only to identify, is this a lower, higher, low, but also if I'm going to act on this, take a trade on it, where am I wrong at? You know, you need to be decisive not for just when you're right, but for also when you're wrong. I'm trying to burn it into my memory, so I have to practice. Mental trades last week, I went 6 out of 6 and would have been 200% my account, only using the 5% trade rule. And that's another good thing, too. On the end of that, you just said the trade rule. That's very big, too, is 2 different aspects of that. Not trading every day, but 2, understanding that you shouldn't be aiming for 80% profits, 90% profits, 120% profits. Like, if you're getting 15, 20, 25, 30%, take that. Consistently go after that. If you see that consistently, take it. Nibble at it. Over time, we can expand. But I like how you said that, too, at the end. Man, I'm going to go buy 100 CS cases and gamble on that. Buy the fever cases. I pulled 2 knives from it. FEVER. If I'm not doubling my account every day, what's even the point? Only mansions and Benzes can say that. Yes, Dondu, already. One was a shitty one was a not at all shitty one. Flex and off Dragon Lore. I wish I even had one. You want a fade? What knife? You have to say fade skeleton if you would have said anything else. You can already get a fade though. Oh, you want the fade M4? That's my boy. I've actually owned one of those, and then someone on my friends list has had 2 of them. He's pulled 2 of them though. That is insane luck. Tobias said, I want to join the stream, but wife will kill me if I do. Miss you, bro. I said, happy wife, happy life. Bitcoin still going strong even with the equities selling. Good call out by Rob. My boy Rob just is always on it, man. He don't care who's around. He's posting news, charts, info, update. He doesn't care. That's how everyone needs to be acting, honestly. Not, let me start a private message group and only include 3 people from chat. Like, no, bring that energy into chat. More like a happy hostage. That's a good way to put it. Heroes come and go, but legends are forever. Kobe. We're just dropping bars in there, aren't we? Death is temporary. Recorded YouTube streams will live on. Yeah, let's not get Tobias caught up in divorce. He said more like a happy hostage. That's so good. What's that L word you used? Happy life? No, you're not going to have one of those. How many people in here are married? I'm not married. I'm clearly just taking jabs. But how many people in here are married? And how many people are not? Lag, that counts you. Donju said, I'm clearly not married. Carter said, I. Lag to the death said, married to the hustle. What an actual legend. I'm in love with the grind, damn it. Married Gary? Good to see. I was just curious. Just had no extra thinking behind it or any follow-up questions. I was genuinely just curious. More of a I told y'all so. My people in my chat aren't annoying people who are on their phones 26/7. My people are nice, mature. I mean, I'm probably one of the more immature people in here, which should be, I guess that's a good thing. Really don't know. But it's not, all I'm saying is it's nice to have mature people in chats. Half of you are older than me. Or more than half of you. And it's almost always a pleasure. I constantly think about it, like, man, would it be nicer to have 600 little morons and annoying idiots in chat, or would it be nice to have 50 or even just 20 to 30 super down to the earth, can actually think, have an inside voice, maybe had some manners growing up type people. Like, that's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for Jesus Christ to be in my chat. I'm not looking for a saint. But it's nice having mature people who actually kind of keep the flow going. I think older crowd because with maturity less likely to fall for the Lambo trader. Oh yeah, that too. Because yeah, y'all know how that works. Y'all know how traders can be 16, 17 years old and stay that age for like 4 or 5 years. And then use that as like a marketing purpose. Yeah, no, stuff like that, just, it's hilarious. But yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good point though you made, is like, most people in our chat probably don't even think to fall for that kind of stuff because it's like, it's so stupid. Like, why would they? Imagine falling for a Forex trader. Imagine falling for a futures funded trader. Ooh, I just took jabs at some of you. No, the Forex trader one was pretty bad though. They'd always be like, yeah, man, it's okay that this all looks sketchy. Just connect this and this to your account. Flexes everything but TA. Gamble with... Yeah, go gamble some money on Counter-Strike. Go bet some money on horses. And then tell me you're living. By the way, guys, 516 might get that liquidity grab we talked about. Golden Creation, or whoever said that earlier. No, that was Letterbuck. Letterbuck might have been on a little early, but he might be right. Now, I wouldn't just randomly buy calls down here, but if you do see a pop above 516, why this is notably important is because you have so much consolidation sitting under it. So a retake of this, that's like having jet fuel in a rocket. That's good. Now, I wouldn't say it's going to launch, but it gives it that potential. And then what can we use as a step-by-step confirmation? We got the flat top over here we talked about. We got the 518s. We got the lower highs way up here if we even get near that again. Which, if we go down to 515 like we did just now, and in the same session I see us push back up to 520, I'll think I was in the market from a week or two ago. I mean, not like the market's changed, but we've definitely cooled off a little bit now that things are more obvious. Direction's a little bit more clear. By the way, how's stream so far, guys? How's everyone doing? We've been in here for almost 2 hours now. I did start the stream, I don't even know how many minutes before the open. I think it was like 40, 45. Funny you said inside voice. People always get onto me because I'm not a quiet person. I stay quiet on here and in chats because I don't know how to express myself text without writing a novel. Man, you'd fit in perfect then. You already fit in perfect. You're just like the rest of the people in my chat. I have so many of you too who like send me these big messages like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like I'm spamming to you. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, you got to remember, I talk the same way. I talk in run-on sentences. I type in run-on sentences. When I said inside voice, that's not what I meant. I probably said the wrong word. I meant like you can look this statistic up on Google right now, but you know that thinking voice you have in your head where it's like your voice or like whatever voice you want it to be? Like you could pretend Robin Williams is in your head. Yeah, not everybody can do that. That's not something everyone's born with. That voice where you can hear your voice in your head and it's like you thinking to yourself. Not everybody has that. As soon as I say that, one of those people pop up too. Look at him. Look at him. It's Ace Ventura. Bro shows up to a coffee shop and says, yeah, my name's Ace Ventura. If you don't have it, you're one of the NPCs. So yeah, if you have to ask what it is, you're probably one of them. But no, someone told me that, and I was like, dude, you're lying. And I Googled it, and I was looking it up, and I saw it on like 8 different things. I was like, dude, there's no way this is a legit thing. Then I started thinking deeper. How does someone prove that? How does someone prove that? They go poll a bunch of people? Just saying. Oh, people over here worried about if aliens exist. I just want to get to the bottom of this. But guys, looks like we are still bearish, of course, on SPY under 516s. We talked about that being a potential area for a retake, so be very weary of that. On the IWM chart, that is the exact same game plan, same template, different numbers, 183.40s. So currently they're trying to break that. Left side charts on the 5. Yeah, inner dialogue. There you go, Priscilla. Sorry. I have inner dialogue, but not a working brain. Thank you. Yes, inner dialogue. There you go. Yeah, I didn't know that most people don't have that. I thought that's just something all of us are born with. People really don't hear Jiminy Cricket in their head. I know, right? It's like, what the hell? 1 minute I got Robin Williams. The next minute I got Mark Wahlberg. Next minute it's my voice again. Google search, am I schizophrenic? Lag to Death says, I don't even thinks. If you can't spot the liquidity within 5 minutes of looking at the chart, you are the liquidity. Oh, bars. Bars. If you can't spot the liquidity in the first 5 minutes of looking at the chart, you are the liquidity. Man. If water's wet, is liquidity liquid? Don't think about that for 3 seconds. Little bit of a struggle, though. I think a lot of us kind of anticipated this struggle at the next level finally, just because we have gone through 2 full fib extensions on the SPY chart. Is that right side chart? You know, why did we even draw it on IWM? Why didn't y'all say that? Nobody got on to me. Let's draw it for IWM. And let's take this off so it's a little easier to see, because God knows it is kind of hard to see. There we go. All right. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in again, because I zoomed in way too much. Fib tool. We're going to go from the previous day close down to today's open on IWM. And what do you know? We hit both 2 of the 3 fib extensions on this. So it's not really that crazy that we are getting a little bit of struggle. Because again, to get to 2 fib extensions, you have to sell off pretty quick. Or a lot, I should say. And I think all of us would agree. Down $3, 1.6% on IWM. Down 10.5 over 2% on SPY. So I'd say that lines up, yeah. Ace definitely had an inner monologue before spelling that out. Oh yeah, 100%. I don't know, the Ace man, sometimes I think he's a code switcher. Sometimes he's thinking, sometimes he's not. I'm just kidding, I like Ace. He's alright. Could be worse. Could be worse. What's up, Ace? How was your Easter weekend? If you guys didn't know, Ace actually dresses up as a bunny, and he throws eggs around his neighborhood. Pretty cool. Shout out to that neighborhood. Ace was actually your Easter bunny yesterday? Did he show up drunk at your party too? Shows up in a full-on bunny costume, beer cans falling out. Oh, there's that potential liquidity that we were looking for. And Letter Buck, are you in stream at all? I really wanted to drive this home with you because I saw you mention it a couple times. So I just want to make sure you're here before I mention it. Did he egg your neighborhood? I hope not. I hope he egged Dondu. I almost said your name, so weird. I hope he egged Dondu's neighborhood. Yeah, he kept saying, if you pay me more, I can hop on to other things. I can hop on other things. I don't need to know where that one's going. Is Letterbuck not here? That's depressing. I'm like making an inner dialogue choice if I even want to type all this out or not. Do we want to look at a different chart? We've kind of gotten the points of these. I really want to keep this one up and this one up. So maybe I'll come back to these in a second. But I really like these because we actually got our downside moves. And I think we are going to get that BS kind of like jump rope move around the minus 100%. And then around here, you can start to look for better, higher lows. Maybe not right now. I'd probably wait for like the second session of today. Again, maybe we should talk about that. You know, we've moved from here all the way to here. And it's only been an hour and 9 minutes. So there's still an hour in this first part of the day, based on the 3 phases of the day. So based on that, we shouldn't even go up and hit anything. So if we do, what does that tell you? That we've moved a lot, and that lunchtime or even end of day, we probably shouldn't do much but consolidate. So if we get a lot of movement after retaking this level between here and lunchtime, I will be impressed. If we wait until lunchtime, I think that'll be up to par in how it should be acting, price action wise. If you guys have never heard of some of these terms, definitely just ask for some of the videos. I know some of that could be like, what the hell is he saying? 3 phases of the day. What is that? It's just a fancy way of us saying we split the day up into 3 ways. And we use the amount of movement in between each one to kind of create different probabilities for the other parts of the day. So in short, you get a lot of movement in 2 of the parts of the day. Should you be expecting a lot in the 3rd part of the day? Probably not. If you get a lot in the 1st, none in the 2nd, should you be expecting some, if at all, in the 3rd part of the day? Yes, you can. Is it ideal? No. I mean, you kind of want to have 2 parts of the day kind of go in line together, but it's not a perfect market, not a perfect world. I'm already impressed, honestly. The fact that this went up above this level and is already pretty much... Let's actually draw like a... Or let's see. Yeah, the fact that it got up above this level and it's basically reached this all in one swift move is a little impressive. That would definitely tell me that the selling has definitely slowed down. And it's kind of funny. We were talking about this exact candle being where we thought things were slowing down at. And this is why I wanted Letter Buck to be in here, because he was kind of a little early on this. But I knew exactly where his head is at. That's why I didn't really get onto him, because he was right, but he was just a little early. But I also wanted to go over that with him because as we went through multiple extensions, like that's when you should be looking at those things, not as we're getting to it for the first time. You know what I mean? What's up, Mighty One? How you doing? Oh, you are here, Buck. My bad. Earlier you were saying upside. I was reading the Discord late, so I'm late to reviewing it. But you were saying you liked the bounce. I liked it too, but I didn't like it as early as you did. And the reason I just wanted one thing I wanted to go over with you is just like if we like in this scenario we have a gap down, and it's not going to be this big every time, but even on up days too. Let's think upside as well. As you're getting through 1 and 2 extensions, that's when you can really start to think like, all right, maybe I can start to look for retakes of this or higher lows of the retake of this. So maybe not the first move of it, but the higher low of it. So if you do see these downside moves, even if you are looking for the bounce, you don't want to be on that first bounce, because a lot of the time that's going to be the impulse move. But yeah, I hope that helps. Just kind of using this as like a reference point. Now, what do you do on days you don't have fib extensions? You know, same thing with levels. How many levels did you go through? You just dump and fell through 5 levels? All right, well, as it retakes one of those levels that it dumped, then you could look at a higher low of that. And that's why I have these lines up over here for you too. It's because like over here you can see we did have a lower high. Over here we do have kind of a flat top. And even though we do want to see a retake of this, and yes, good bounces of this and higher lows of this, I also still need to see something pop this. So there's a couple things you kind of set out for yourself to kind of like be a trigger, I guess, before becoming, oh, hey, this is going to bounce. Because I did agree with you in your thought process. I just think it was a little early. If that makes sense. But yeah. Again, I liked where your head's at, just a little early. Air frying the tenders as we speak. Wait, what? Good day, fam. Just joining. Was able to grab some pooch with the game plan. Oh, nice. Yeah, I won't lie. The game plan today was pretty clear cut. It was just like, did you want to spend the money to trade it or not? But also happy to see we actually got some movement. It actually went down. It didn't just like, you know, one drop, retake, instantly go back up. You know, that would be horrible. That would be very hard on momentum. Good to see you, though, Alexis. Good to see you. Are you driving around today? And if so, you got a lot of driving, or we got a light day ahead of us here on a Monday, or what's up? Just be like, yo, man, I'm Catholic. The Pope passed away, man. Let me have the day off. Nah, that's fucked up. You probably shouldn't do that. And see, like right here is a good example. SPY, like yes, we retook that level, but we didn't really get that second confirmation showing that we are changing trends. So this kind of leads me to believe that we are still in this downside trend, right? If we were a downside here, what changes this? Nothing. yet. What Pope? Pope Francis. He passed away. My bad. I thought that was like trending news that shoved down everyone's throat. Never mind. Possible engulfing on the 5. Good call out. Here, I'll move this to SPY. I think we got the gist on IWM. It's like the same story on both charts. There we go. I'll do it like this. Yeah, exactly, Dr. J. But doesn't that make sense, though? That should make sense, though. That's exactly the... actually, that's exactly what I talked about earlier with... damn it, that was on the IWM chart. But it was when we were pulling down and we were hitting that first target and we were kind of wicking back up. I was explaining that your price of your contract is probably the exact same as like someone who's like entering right here, right? And then in some instances, it's going to be completely different based on pacing or momentum or whatever. But I like exactly what you just said. The call contract did not move from low of day to recent high as much as a 177 move would suggest, probably a sign to not trust the bounce. And even if not to trust it, definitely not to trust it yet. Because, again, like I said, there hasn't really been a bounce. Like, yes, we have an initial attempt here. Didn't really do anything with it, right? If I'm bearish under this open, after already being bearish before today, like being bearish before this, right? What changes my mind? Something has to pop up. Didn't pop up here, didn't pop up here. Tried to, didn't pop up here. Could still try to, right? Holy crap, that is not where I tried to draw that. Could definitely still try to, but as we can see, not really a good condition for buyers. This is definitely a seller chart. But also a good deeper point made by Dr. J. I like that. I talk about that so much too whenever I do stream because it really is a big thing. Like, and you really only notice it when you're actually trading, right? If you're someone who's just sitting here staring at candles all the time, you're never gonna even notice. You're gonna think it's witch magic. But in reality, that's just actually how buying and selling feels. That's how real price action moves. As it's holding something, right? Contract sitting. Could even be losing value. Just because it moved up doesn't mean it's going to move value. There's already an expected move for that, or it only goes up so much and it rejects and we don't get good momentum past a certain barrier, like in this instance. Yeah, I don't expect that contract to move much more. And if anything, that contract's going to deteriorate over time. And when I say over time, I mean like within that hour. The option delta is false advertising. Well, you got to remember the delta is not the only variable. It's not price of the contract, bam, use the delta. Like, no, there's other variables in there. I'm sure the Vega is a pretty crazy number on that contract that you're looking at due to high volatility. Oh, you choose to forget. Oh. I mean, trust me, dude. I'm right there with you. I wish it was just the delta. I wish it was just delta and gamma. That's all I wish. That'd be cool. No other variables beyond delta and gamma? We're set. Because gamma feeds into the delta. Theta takes away. Vega can not take away or add to, but it can amplify or unamplify, whatever the opposite of amplify is. I would definitely say that's what Vega does. God, imagine joining the stream for the first time and you hear all this stuff and you're like, what the hell? We actually saw 515 today. We actually saw 515 break today. We closed at 526.40. We are down $11.50. 511's possible. I'd say 513. I want to be a little modest here. 513 30s, because that is a fib extension of the gap down. I'd say that is a really good next target if this low of day continues to hold under that previous low, which is about 515, breaking that 515 barrier. You just saw an SPX con go up 1.4K from that wick down. Oh, I haven't even been looking at those. I was staring at the IWM and the SPY cons. I did not look at SPX. I can only assume, though. They're affordable again. I read that in the most, like, innocent voice ever. As Chaka is to Will Ferrell, Lag to Death is to me. What's up, Tobias? How'd you get away from the wife? Or did you only get away to type those 4 comments? Not messing around today in Boston Marathon Day. I need a helicopter, please. Oh, you really got a big day. Damn. Well, Alexis, be careful, man. Please be hydrated at least. And try not to forget lunch. She's in the sun? Wait, where y'all at? Oh, y'all are on vacation, aren't y'all? She's in the sun and you're laying down. Are you not laying down in the sun with her? Where you're like a good distance apart? What are we talking here? Tobias is cheating on his wife with chat. Portugal. Oh god, dude. I bet that place is amazing. Yo, make sure to take some pictures, Tobias. I mean, not of y'all laying down randomly, but like of all your stuff. That'd be cool. Aviator sent his earlier. Lee then sends his every other month. You know, I'm getting old. I was excited about a water cooler purchase yesterday. What kind of water cooler? That's how it be though, Lag. You get so like you get older and you actually get interested in buying just like normal ass stuff. Okay, I'm back from a shower break. Got stopped out on my Palantir calls. I figured you did because I didn't look at Palantir, but just from all the movement. Holy. Yo, why are all my members like rich and going on vacations everywhere? Why are like a third of you like rich, wealthy, and savants? Yo, that picture's like super HD. Maybe my eyes are just blown every time I look at y'all's pictures, but like those flowers Aviator sent, and then this picture, and there's a couple like these pictures are unreal. Like you guys are photoshopping this and lying to us. That is a crazy picture, though. Yo, dude, don't send a picture of your wife. She's in the picture. I'm just kidding, by the way. I just wanted Tobias to look at the picture again. Those fancy hot cold ones. Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Because 1/3 of us don't have kids. Dr. J's like, me having kids? Trust me. Because of you? Okay. We gotta kiss ass. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, it's just nice seeing you guys, like, do good, I'll be honest. Because some of you just make, like, a little bit here and there, and it's like, y'all think that's nothing. It's like, dude, you don't understand, that's everything. Like, if you have a job, and you have your life going on, and you're able to make, even just make a small amount from this, dude, you're killing it. This is just the beginning. You can always build from that. You don't need to go from 0 to the moon in one trading session, you know? As awesome as it would be to do that. Trust me. Definitely would not down you if it did happen to you. Because Mango was like short 50% and I took some. And I took some size. Oh, yeah, I did see that. Oh, he's actually giving me the reason why he's in Portugal. Yeah, I saw y'all's gains. I saw that. That was nice. That's what I mean, though. Like, I'm glad I have a chat. Like, I can just leave and you guys are still trading. Like, I don't have to be like, yo, guys, the stock market's open. You guys are already addicted. Can we short cost now? Yeah, what's up with that one? Man, I got screwed on that one, Alexis. I entered here. I cut 3/4 of it here. I took small profits on a quarter here. And now I'm like, fuck this chart. Now, I did point out that it was an early entry, but it was just crazy seeing it because it's like, oh, wow, maybe we were early. Maybe it will go to 1,020. I don't know. Very hard for me to short that one. Same for Walmart, though. They also experience that slowdown around the same time. So we'll see if they get some settling and these become higher lows and some more base building, some moves up. Or do they end up giving up the bottom of this highlighted area? And we do see some moves down because that could be very possible. But yeah, that was my short-term experience. It worked and didn't work. But it's okay. We're not going to cry. We're going to zoom in on the 5. I'm surprised I'm even zooming this down enough to where I can see the number 511. I mean, that's just insane. If we go up today and hit 520s, that is just as crazy as going down to 511. To get that amount of movement back up. We'll see, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we cascade down to like 513.30, that last fib extension, and then maybe consolidate. But we said the last time around the minus 100%. You saw how that worked out. One green candle went above that on the 5-minute. Everything else looked like shit. And nothing changed trend. Right? Lower highs are still intact. That flat purple line still intact. Nothing has truly changed directions for this chart. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, by the way, guys. We have been streaming for a little over 2 hours now, so it is a good point in the day to remind ourselves that it's okay to breathe for a second. Plus, we have seen a lot of movement. And let's see who memorized the 3 phases of the day. I really need to like leave this as homework for y'all or something, but can anybody label point out the 3 phases of the day? What are they? Because I really want to start seeing more people hammer that at home, because it's just a good rule of thumb. Not even just for actively trading, but for someone who might be not actively trading. Just getting a good feel for things. Getting a good feel for whatever context is on the screen. $51 on SPX might be interesting to base. Oh yeah, speaking of that. Oh my god. Yeah, where's that SPY futures guy? Whoops. I said if we go down today, this is the level we will most likely hit. And there she blows. But like I said, it's kind of cool to look at that one because it's the same template. Oh, mansion, we're in different time zones. 9:30, 11:30. That seems right. 11:32. Wait, what? Okay, first part's right. Second part goes from 11:30 to 1 your time, and then from 1 to 3. Or wait, no. Wait, it's you're an hour ahead of me. This is fucking my brain. It's only one number and it's fucking my brain. Yeah, first part's right. Second part off by 30 minutes. Last part's just is the last 2 hours of the day. So it's 2 hours. Blank 2 hours. So 2, 2.5, 2. Or is that 2, 2, 2? No, it's 2, 2.5, 2. I think. Wow, that was really weird reading those numbers that way. Yo, shout out to the guy who did the time zones. You're an asshole. Bro, Nvidia under 100 is crazy. Like, that's actually crazy. That's mind-blowing to me. Dude, we're almost where the splits happen. That's crazy. That actually broke my brain for a second. Trump should get rid of time zones after he gets rid of daylight savings. He's like, fuck it, I'm messing with time now. Gulf of America, now we're messing with time zone. Is he really going to mess with daylight savings? Bro, I've been saying for a long time somebody needs to fix that shit. Like, none of it makes sense. I think China uses one time zone for the whole that's a country that makes sense then. Time zone should not be that fucking complex. Somebody was really getting off, man. When they figured out what time was, they were really getting off on it. We're like, oh, dude, we're about to make so many confusing ass terms and time zones to piss everybody off. Like, I could see like a couple time zones for the world. That'd be cool. Like 4. That'd be cool. Why does it gotta be anything deeper than that? It made sense before globalization. Now it's tradition. The things we complain about. Someone joins the stream and they hear me saying that, they're gonna think I'm tinfoil hat. I'm just trolling. I need something to break the silence in this live stream. Now it's tradition. And knowing is half the battle. How was stream so far, though? I've been insanely talkative from start of pre-market stream all the way to now. I try my best to at least show up and talk, because, you know, it would suck to just sit here and stare at a bunch of candlesticks. No talking. And the question is, do we actually make it down to that third fib extension target? We talked about how crazy this is to actually do, and how many times this has happened in the past couple weeks. King Carnage, good question, actually. You said, so how do I avoid the FOMO of being out of puts while it continues to drop? Well, King Carnage, I'm going to give you one simple trick. Get the fuck off your screen. Don't just sit here and let it eat you alive. Don't let it sit here and create the devil. Don't let it sit here and create the devil on your shoulder saying, hey, jump in. It isn't too late. Even though we just hit fucking 2 fib extensions, King Carnage. Go ahead, get in late. No, don't let that do it to you. Also, use context, use knowledge, use understanding to push yourself. Use logic. You've heard me how many times this stream talk about how many targets we've gone through today. Multiple. So, if getting off your screen doesn't help, logic should. And if logic doesn't, then you're just schizophrenic. You need help. But I don't think you need help in that manner. I just gotta grow up. I mean, that's part of it, but I don't like when people say that because it's like, it's so hard on people to say that. Yeah, just get inputs now. Shorting low day always works. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on. Become the low of day liquidity. Like King Carnage right now. I'm not in puts right now. I feel fucking great. Because I've put the time in, right? I made a small IWM trade. I sat here and I discussed all this stuff. And you might think, oh, it's to educate people in here. It's to provide value for shit. I'm doing this because I'm fucking crazy. I would talk to myself like this if y'all weren't here. oh, it's making a lower high here. All right, I need to see this next or this next. Always telling myself what's next, what to expect, giving myself probability in each situation. Therefore, when something is super shit, I'm not sitting here going, oh man, I wish I was in that. Or it's like, it's just continuously going, oh, I wish I was in that. No, it's because I've already given that energy out. There's no energy left for me to even want to be in that, right? That would just be like gambling addict level at that point. But that energy has left my body. It's out. I don't have anything here. Because I understand, oh, it's made its move. And I've caught a piece of it. I've got to cover a bunch of it. I've got to go over this beforehand. Did I say SPY would fall all the way to 514.50s? Fuck no. I was telling y'all 518 was the first target. 515 could be a second target. If we go any farther than that, I don't really trust it. Right? So that's another thing. Forward expectations. Right? Are you just setting plans and going, oh, it'll just go until I think it stops? No, you got to have forward expectations. Oh, we made a lower open. Okay, what are the couple levels underneath I should look for, either more selling or future targets, right? That's another thing. Having that set beforehand. It shouldn't be something that's on the fly. So use that logic and that understanding of what's in front of you to make that decision to not take a trade, to not follow, to not chase tail, to not be the caboose of the move, to not become liquidity for the low of day. Ow. Discipline and reasoning, also past experiences on times that you FOMO'd and got burned. Personal experience. I mean, Alexis, you know too, yeah. Like, just, you know what it feels like to get burned. And I'm sure King Carnage does too. Like, every single one of us has been burned, whether it was in our control or not. Tobias says, I don't have FOMO on selling. When I do, I cope with small long-term common buys. Because I know when I'm short-term wrong, I'm long-term right. That thing B said on BB Theory hits... Wait, what? Oh, hints. I think you meant hints. I got what you meant. That thing BB said on BB Theory, hints of trading every day. Yeah, definitely not trading every day, too. You'll hear me say that a lot in that playlist. Tobias, that's exactly... Dude, I'm not kidding, Tobias. If you go back to the beginning of my stream, that was one of the first things I covered this morning. Was DCA. I covered that like 2-3 times this morning because I wanted people to know it's not just a short-term options market. This is also the greatest kind of market for dollar cost averaging. You can put a little bit there. A couple weeks go by, put a little bit there. A couple weeks go by, put a little bit there. Another month goes by, put a little bit there. You don't need to be perfect. We don't need to be Michael Burry. I don't need to be Marty McFly guessing bottoms and guess and knowing the future, you know? I've never been burnt, besides that one time I went to Shriners. I just don't know sometimes if there's a sign of continued selling I miss that should allow me to catch the bigger moves, or if I'm just you're just being greedy. And yes, there are both. You're being greedy and there are signs. Like you just heard me explain forward expectations. What are my thoughts going to be if it goes $5 past what I expected it to go to, King Carnage? Am I going to sit here and go, "Oh, it's something I must have done. It's something I fucked up." Or is that what an expectation is? It hit it. I expected that. Did it go further than that? Yes, no, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. So that's another thing, is just kind of like having that in your back pocket at all times. Like understanding, yes, this is what I expected. Did it go further? Did it not? It doesn't matter if it did or not. I get that. I used to get that question so much, and I think it would piss people off because they would ask me, they'd be like, "Yo, Bueller, what do you do when you sold your contract for like small profits or even a loss, and then you look back and it's up like $500?" I'm like, I don't do that. That's fucking crazy. Like if you're, think about this, and seriously, like stop looking or thinking or breathing for a second. Just listen to me. If you sit here and you have expectations or a certain reality, right? And then we blow that reality out of proportion, right? And I'll make this make sense here in a second. Then we're not really experiencing a reality. We're kind of experiencing bullshit euphoria stuff I can't actually recreate or consistently follow, right? It's the same thing with trading. I gotta stop doing that then. I ruined so many good trades because of that. Yeah, it sounds like you don't have any like I'm not trying to like call you out, but it doesn't sound like you have any like thinking behind what you're doing outside of entering. Like it sounds like you have a lot of foolproof thinking for like, all right, this is how I get in, this is what I'm gonna do. But it doesn't sound like you have a lot of foolproof thinking on the back end of that. Like, oh, this is what I expect it to do, or this is what I'm gonna do if this does this or this does that. Setting a condition for yourself. But back to my point though. So if you're trading in a way, like I said, with expectations, like, oh, if it does this, I'm doing this, setting a condition for yourself, that's reality. That's a reality we can live in because it's something we can consistently recreate, right? Everybody still with me? Now, to blow that reality at a proportion, to completely blow our minds to the wall here, we would have to do something that isn't normal, something that is out of that consistent realm, something we can do over and over again, right? That would be all those moves that you don't expect, right? So if I'm like, we got a lower open, what I'm about to cover is things I actually said in today's stream too. I'm not going to sit here and go over, oh, this is what you could have done, or could have done that, could have done this. No, I'm going to go over what was covered because this is the system. This has nothing to do with me, my ego. This has nothing to do with anyone else's ego in chat. It has nothing to do with anyone. This has something to do with the system. That's it. You got to have thinking behind that. But we get our lower open. All right, I'm already directionally bearish. All right, I got my lower high, bet. Oh, I got my break. Now I'm even more bearish, right? I get down to my next target. I get down to my next target. Whatever happens, right? I set expectations for, oh, if I break this, I'm expecting to go down to 517, or sorry, 515.93, 515 at worst, right? I'm thinking 515 is a psychological number because if we go farther than that, not only did we literally close Thursday at 526.40, now you're telling me I'm sitting here telling myself that we're at 515, and what future short-term target should I have? I'm going to tell you right now, if this goes down to any further, it does not affect me. It does not do anything to me. The chart is doing nothing to you by moving more without you, right? Now, back to that blowing reality at a proportion. That would be you expecting the chart to just go on forever, right? And that's kind of what you're doing by saying, should I get in again and follow this? Like, so you're expecting this to just have a down 5%, 4%, 10% day? Like, that's not realistic, Also, stop sitting here and thinking, like, once you enter, it's reactionary after that. Like, no, you should not be reactionary at all after you've entered. I mean, you could react to whatever you want, but your trade itself is kind of set in stone. You're doing this if this happens, you're doing that if this happens, right? You're not sitting here going, well, I'll change it up if this happens. Oh, well, it did this. I need to kind of do this now and kind of change up everything I originally planned. Like, that's not really trading. That's not something you can consistently recreate. You know what I mean? So, again, think about that when you're taking your trades. Is this something I could consistently redo again? Could I do this again based on blah, 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 blah? You just need to follow it. Then that's all emotions. That's all your greed. You're just letting your greed and that reality, that blown up reality that you don't have anymore, that's what's fucking you. Like, you don't have a realistic touch of what's supposed to happen and what's not supposed to happen anymore because you're being so greedy, because you're expecting such continued moves every single time. And maybe sometimes it is good to be cautious, like you said, but sometimes it's going to bite you in the ass. And that's why I'm trying to say stick to what's consistent. Trump talking at 10:30 today? Yeah, but it's about egg rolls or something. It's about Easter or something. I don't even remember. But King Carnage, if that is true, then that's just greed talking. If you really do have that back into your plan set, and you do have that expectation set, then that's just you ignoring it. That's like there being a roadblock and you just driving right through it because you just, brain off, driving. Lights are on, but nobody's home. You know what I mean? And honestly, I'd say a great first step is saying it out loud like you've just done. Like, just saying it out loud is honestly a great first step because now you're like, it's weird. It's like I'm talking to like a drug addict, but it's real though. It's like bringing it to light. Are you one? Okay, bet. Now we can work on it. It's like, it's the same thing with like what you just said. It's like, am I being greedy? I am? Okay. Well, now that I've established that, I can move on from that. I can plan around that. I hope that makes sense though, because I really am glad that you're like saying this stuff and you're not like cooping it up inside and being weird. Because trust me, you being yourself is not being weird. There's nothing cooler you could be than yourself. Unless you're Ace, then please be someone else. Like literally anyone else. And you'll hear me in the stream, Carnage, at any time. Reach out, ask. Like, you will literally hear me say this stuff. Like, why am I sitting here just talking about nothing for the past 30 minutes? I mean, not nothing, but why am I not focused on stock market updates so much? Because I understand my time is come and gone. I don't need to be sitting here. I mean, I could probably change the chart, but I'm sure people want to see what SPY is doing. In those cases, I like to review my thought process in the moment of why I changed / ignored the plan, both when it worked out and when it didn't. Ah, that's a good way of thinking about it, too. Like, be a detective on yourself. Like, right here, King Carnage. Think about the 3 phases of the day. We're 15 minutes away from the first part of the day being over. What have we done in this entire first part of the day? And not just King Carnage. Everybody in here, please answer me. What have we done in this entire first phase of the day? Think about it. Because I had a bad week and realized I was excusing. Oh, ignoring stops by saying the next level is so close. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like you're adjusting it because you're like, oh, well, this is here. Oh, this is here. Oh, it's so close. Yeah, that could definitely get you too, because that's like being tedious. That's like, it's like gaslighting your own trade. It's weird. But you don't know that like in the moment. It feels normal. It's like, oh, I would totally do this. I'm just risking 15 extra %. That was a good way of putting it, Doctor. Doctor. Dude, I get that song stuck in my head every time I read your name. Exactly. Wasn't being disciplined in my case. Ignoring plan for fear of losing. And his case might be different than yours, too. That's another thing, too, is like not everyone's reason is the same. Like he might not be even scared of losing. He might be just greedy, you know, and vice versa. You being scared of like losing, you know, you might be a perfectionist. You want to be right about everything. Not maybe being right, but you want everything to work right. You want it all to look good, OCD, stuff like that. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying there's so many different reasons that stem from so many different things. But at the end of the day, it really only comes down to 2 things. What is your trading style? Like, what is your trading strat? What do you stick to it? You know, is that something you're following? Is it conditional? You know, if this then that, if that then this. You know, or are you just winging it? You know, because that's a huge wrong step in the wrong direction. And thank you, Garden Trader. She said, we dumped after gapping down. It's time to possibly rest for the next phase and possibly the rest of the day, just because of how much this is. You know, and let's say it does sell off more. What would we do, Garden Trader? Would I sit there and dive in a boat and try to chase it? Or am I just going to take that on the chin? You know, am I just going to have to take that as, oh, okay, we're just having a really bad down day. I can't do anything about that. I got me a piece. That's it. Moving on. Can't sit there and change what already happened. Can't sit there and, you know, change what I wish happened. You know, that's not something we're in control of. Excuse me. I'm sorry if I make you yawn by yawning. In my case, I had a bunch of good weeks in a row, and fear of stopping streak made it worse. Oh, those are the worst, man. Those are actually the worst, because you feel like you're on top of the world, and then you're like, oh, I never want this to end, and then as soon as you're about to take a trade, you're like, oh, this could be the one that fucks my streak up. Just watching, that way we gather our info for tomorrow. Exactly. It literally creates a possibly easier following day. Just because we understand what's in front of us. Not because it's easier. There's nothing changing. I already know how things could have gone bad with me today. I would have been in puts as it reached 515.93. I would have stayed in because it didn't hit exactly. Then I would have sat through a few. So can I ask you something, King Carnage? And this might be something super simple. But like, were you in the stream the whole time, or did you get in a little bit later on? And again, I'm not looking for a, oh, you weren't in here, well, you should have paid attention. I'm not doing that with you. That's not what I'm doing. I'm genuinely asking you, were you here on time? Were you here a little bit later? I know you guys all have work, and some of you are getting to work. Some of you have kids. You got in 15 minutes before open. Okay, so you had no reason to not hear me then. Okay, so why I was asking that is because I was going to say, if you weren't in here at the time, definitely make sure you catch up or ask me, hey, Bueller, what's the original plan? Because there is an original plan at all times, right? And if I've moved $15, $10 away from that plan, do you think I'm going to be trading that anymore? Probably not. I'm probably going to be moved on from that. So that's another big thing too, is like, you were saying 5:15.93. I'm over here like, why is he so late? You know? That's where my brain went when you said that. So that's why I was asking you, like, you know, why are you taking a trade under 5:15.93? Does it make sense to take a trade there? Yes, you could set up a trade there. Is it as high probability as if you were already in one past here, already in one past the other lower high? Yeah, definitely, because you're a lot closer to our originating level, so the risk reward is a lot better. Whereas the further we're away from them, the risk reward gets a lot worse. So that's the only reason I ask that. I'm not saying like, oh, you're in here, you weren't paying attention, like nothing like that. I'm saying if I was in a trade and that's my target. No, you're good. I was saying from. Oh, you were saying that was a theoretical. Okay. I'm saying if I was in a trade and that's my target exit. As it reached 5:50.93, I would have stayed in because it didn't hit it exact. Then I would have sat through a few. Okay, sorry, I did read that wrong. So you're saying as it reached this, you would have stayed in because it didn't hit exact. Then I would have sat through a few. Yeah, you would have definitely sat through a few candles, and that would have sucked. And then you probably would have made a bad decision. Okay, so let me ask you this. How many, like, contracts are you entering, like, on average, would you say? I mean, because I know not every trade's the same. Sometimes, let's say you're spending $600. You know, that's, sometimes it gets you 2, sometimes it gets you 3, sometimes you get 4, sometimes you only get 1. Which, if that only gets you 1, you probably shouldn't be trading it. 3. Okay, perfect. I want you to start working on the staircase method, because I don't see you mentioning that once. It looks like you're just entering once, exiting once. Now, again, that makes sense if we have 1, but you have 3. So let's say you have 3. Let's say you get near your first target, King Carnage. I want you to start getting better at selling 2 out of the 3 every single trade. Every single trade. I don't care. I don't care if it only made 8%. I don't care if it only made 15%. I don't care if it only made whatever. You know, I don't care. Focus on selling 2 out of the 3. On the third contract, this is where I want you to display more of your confidence. This is where I want you to show your understanding of the chart more. This is where I want you to get out of those other 2 and be a little bit more free, be a little bit more relieved, be a little bit more open, be a little bit more comfortable. With less on your shoulders, after trimming part of the position, not only will you be positively reinforced, you will be actually staircasing out correctly. So I want you to get really good at finding a good first initial passive target, whether it's a fib extension, an emerging candle, a halfway point. I don't care how you get it. Get me a passive first target for every single trade you take. And for every single trade you take, I want 2 out of the 3, or most of your position, whatever the number is, I want most of it to be sold at that first target. Then you can start to work towards that next target, whether that's developing what kind of trend do you still have, what further levels are we breaking or holding, whatever. Right? And then I want you to micromanage that last contract as best as you possibly can. Whether that means, oh, I think it's slowing up, let me get out for just a slightly bigger gain than the past contract. Oh, it's slowing up, let me get out before this reverses. Oh, it hit my target. Oh, it's getting near my target. Whatever happens next, do it. That's the staircase method. It's because it is impossible to just sit there and be like, all right, buy once, sell once. Like, you need to be scaling out, not just for your money, but for your own brain, you know, for your own sanity, I should say. right? How can you be at peace if we're sitting here saying, 50 different things all the time and buying this and selling that and only buying and selling in one spot? It's not really beneficial. It's going to be a little bit more chaotic. It's going to be a little bit more stressful, not as organized, not as consistent. And what do we like about everything a part of our system? It's consistent. We like to be consistent in our ways and our methods so we can potentially get consistent results. But I want you to focus on that, because it sounds like you just need a little bit of structure. I really feel like that'll help you. Because, again, you're not looking the wrong direction, so I know you're not dumb. You're not blind. You're able to have a pretty nice conversation back and forth, asking questions, trying to figure out what's up. Are you just greedy? Are you just not paying attention to something? Are you missing out on something? What's up? What is it? So I could see you're hungry. So I want to see you do that. I want to see you do that for a while, honestly. And honestly, everybody in chat needs to be doing that. King Carnage might have the strength to actually open up about whatever he wants to talk about right here and right now, but I know for a fact every single one of us have dealt with this at one point. But very, very good conversation, King Carnage. Thank you for bringing all that up. Pretty much just waiting for a market structure shift for potential long entry during the next phase of the day. I have a daily low level NQ, but market is saying lower. Definitely feels like it. 513.30 hit. Good update by Carter. Great update by Carter. Let me get my fancy little picture going. And Carter, why are you mentioning 513.30? Why is that so important? Why is that impactful? Why is that worth mentioning? Why is that? Consistent trading results come from consistent actions, not occasional effort. Preach, dude. Because it was on my levels watch list. Shut up. No. Seriously, what was the reason why? Why is that the number to mention? The level. Or a level, I should say. A level. A target. Why is that a target? It's the third bearish level that has been hit. It's getting into the phase 2 of the day. Exactly. So now that we've actually made it down here, which again, we all set how crazy it'd be to actually make it down to 513s in one session from opening at 521, which literally gapped down $5. So again, just to kind of put that into context, we have a $13 down day. It's about 2.5% down. I was saying this is already kind of massive at 2% down, so the fact to get another 0.5 is a little wild. What can we think about what Carter just said? Honestly, we reached our third fib extension, which is just a fancy target marked from marketing Thursday's close to today's open, and then a bunch of dotted lines appear. And we're getting into that second phase of the day. We're actually a minute and a half away, about less than a minute and a half actually. So it's not really going to be surprising. Basically what I'm trying to say is higher probability says that during lunchtime, and possibly even the rest of the day, we should consolidate or even bounce back up. Now, what do I mean by that? Bounce back up. Do I mean we're going back up to 530? We're going back up to 520? No. No. Each trend that we've made, right? We talked about the lower highs. On the 1 minute, talked about the flat top and how we came back up and rejected it again. Even though meat of the candle wise, it is a lower high. Regardless, actual hitting it, we did touch that, so it was a good flat. Rejected, made new lows, continued on. So it's just good to kind of cover the trend in a row and just kind of remind yourself like what's happening. And then if we do ever get a bounce back up, where are we going? All those spots that we struggled at. So it's not like if we bounce here, we're going back up to 520. It's like, no, we're going to go up to here, see what happens here, go back up to here, see what happens here, go back up to here, see what happens here. It's not just like touch and go. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we just sell off all day. Maybe it's a down 10% day. Who the fuck knows? This is crazy, dude. The fact that it's breaking that level. All right, leaving 511 on the screen. Thought that'd be a joke. Apparently not.
I missed a nice early move, but took my opportunity from our 51 5090s level to the third fib. Took my 20% because, again, I was late. I like that, too. You said, took my 20% because, again, I was late. I like that you say that because, like, it's like real life. Like, let's say you're, like, getting up, right? And let's say you're late for work. Are you going to go through all of your morning rituals and routines? No, you're going to skip a majority of them, maybe even breeze through a lot of them because guess what? You're late to work. It's time to go. Same thing with this. Like, it's just because you were late, does that mean you get to hold it longer just because you want to, because you think you held late or because you got in late? No. You need to be realistic and aware of the situation you're in. And that's why I'm glad Carter just said that. Carter literally just said, took my 20% because, again, I was late. Like, he understands, oh, okay, I'm aware of my situation. I understand I'm in this a little bit late, so let me take a little bit more passive of gains because I understand that I might be a little bit late. What a genius. Like, it's almost like he's just using logic. It's crazy. Using logic really is everything. It's weird, man. Once you get, like, levels or a system in front of you, just, like, apply logic to it. Now, it's so easy to say that and rather over than do it because, again, you could just make up a bunch of shit and be like, oh, that's theory. Like, no, you got to back test it. You got to actually make sense of it. It needs to make sense to you. You can't just be like, well, if it makes a low or high here, that's why I would buy calls. Like, what? You just contradicted yourself. So the confirmations cannot contradict themselves. The context cannot contradict itself. 51150 is the first fib extension of the April 16th. I'm assuming that's a gap down. It's like a gap down, and that's like a fib extension of that gap down. Is that what you're meaning? I'm sorry, I'm not zooming out to see April 16th. 1 second, actually, I need to grab something, Carter. Alright, nobody type anything fucked up in the chat while I'm gone. Did the selling stop? No, it hasn't. Let's see here. Do I even have enough fucking level into this? Nope, we're just going to the floor. Okay. Man, I really underestimated this. Or did I perfectly call it out? Who knows? You said 5:11:50 is the first civic ascent of April 16th from the high to the low of that day. Oh, okay, it's not the gap down. We will see the dreaded .2 on a money. Yeah, apparently. But shit, it might be a -3. We're closer to -3 than we are -2. Tyler Farrell, good to see you. Got rid of my 523 April 23 scan. Always want to buy calls, but just hold tight for now and wait for some kind of confirmation. I'm not a very technical trader, so I rely on patience. I would say patience is a good weapon, because I would tell any of my traders not to just randomly buy this dip. I would wait till at least the last 2 hours of the day to see what kind of consolidation or price action has popped up. If not by then I really wouldn't trust it even then. So, actually, patience might be your greatest weapon. Doing good, man. I'm alive somewhat. How are you, Tyler? Which Tyler is this? We've had like 10 Tylers. Tyler Farrell. I feel like I would remember that because your name. Farrell. It's like Will Ferrell's long forgotten son and we just don't know it. Pharrell. Alright, I can sit down. Yo, good job on your gains though, Tyler. Very happy to hear that. Sorry, I forgot to congratulate you. I like read it and was like, good job, trooper, and then just moved on. Just didn't even pat you on the back or nothing. But good job, man. That is a fucking huge gain. Don't sit there and think that that's something you can do every day. That's honestly amazing gains. Definitely shouldn't be looking. I wouldn't even be looking at a dip buy if I got a gain like that, honestly. That's like a gain that could have you chilling out for a day or two. Then you can start looking back at things. Be very patient. I'm really big on not trading every day. I teach this to all my people. Work. Collaboration in the Marine Corps is dreadful. Oh, calibration. What the hell did I just say? Collaboration? Calibration in the Marine Corps is dreadful. F-35 platform is a bitch. What do you do as a... I'm probably just going to Google this. What does a calibrator do? Calibrating F-35 platform. Government shows up to my house. No, why did it go to Chat GPT? What the fuck? Google. There we go. I'm like, why is it typing to me? Bro, Google can't spell calibrating. Or I fucked it up so bad. Oh no, I did. What does an F-35 platform calibrator do? First part of this video explains how to calibrate an aircraft's hook position. What the fuck? This looks dangerous as hell. Damn, this looks so cool though. So I had a lady who wasn't really my aunt, but we called her my aunt 'cause she basically lived with us forever. She used to work on, oh, what the fuck are those called? Those like long black planes before the Blackbirds existed. Those like super, super big ones. God, those things were sick. Maybe in the Marines, the F-35 and the AF was all under warranty. The maintainers changed tires at the very most. Doesn't sound like Tyler's just changing tires. It sounds like he's doing a little more than that.
That's right. I forgot. Lag to Death is actually an undercover admiral. I forgot all about that. He said he got scammed. Oh, that's funny. That does sound pretty cool, though. I mean, if somebody walked up to me and was like, yeah, man, I just I calibrate F-35s. I'd be like, man, I don't even know what you just said, but that sounds cool as hell. I do like how they got the ones... Oh, that can hover. Oh, they can hover. Oh, okay. Damn, how long have you been in the Marine Corps, Tyler? If you're even allowed to say so. I mean, don't say anything, of course, that you're not allowed to say. I ain't trying to get killed over this. It's just glorified operational checking gear that takes quantitative measurements. Anything from night vision goggles to pressure gauges. I got a dip, but I won't buy today. LOL. See y'all again soon. See you later, Tyler. And come in whenever you time, man. Keep being patient. Good luck at work, man. And honestly, that sounds crazy fucking cool. I don't care if it's glorified or not. Without you, we don't have flying F-35. That's what I'm hearing. Last time I checked, that's what's keeping us and the communists apart. Not top secret, just secret. I got you. Well, your secret's safe with me. I will go down with the ship. Now, lag to death, that's who you need to worry about. That's who we need to both worry about. We might need to put this man under. Lag to death. More like letting all of the government secrets out to death. I don't like the way you talk, lag. I don't know if I want to play Warhammer with you. But I was like a tactical genius. I'd get my shit pushed in. Guys, that's a pretty big red candle before the 512 candle. Before it touching 512. The only reason I mention that is that like that's a good distance from the previous level now. So even if you do get consolidation, it's gonna have to be hard fought to actually take over anything. To consolidate, retake 51330s, work back up to 516s. Like, that's going to take a lot. So, a lot of time has to go by. Kind of the end of the stream here, guys. Feel free to ask some questions before I dip out. If you guys have anything. We've already been answering questions. We're just kind of reiterating it. I honestly didn't even see it was almost 11. But I was happy to be here. It's been almost 3 hours. We started about 45 before the open. And I've been going since then. But had a lot of fun because I really hate when I just show up late and just kind of review stuff. Because I can't ever, like, have my peace, you know? And what I mean by that is, like, even if you only have 2 minutes in the morning to check something, it's still worth. Because if you don't check it before market open, you will not feel as validated or feel as constructive enough. If you do it after, right? If the market's already opened and then you start setting your plans, it doesn't feel right. It feels like you're kind of pushing the bar. Whereas before market's opened, it feels like you get a really good kind of grip on what's potentially going to happen. And therefore it leads to possibly better trade making. Which, again, that could just be me talking out of my ass. But I really do believe in that. I really do believe in, like, momentum. I see it as a momentum giver. You know, if you're already looking at this and you're saying, I think it's going to do that, I think it's going to do this. Not saying I think, you know, exactly how I word it. Maybe not say I think, but you know what I mean. Like, covering this stuff and having expectations for if this happens, I expect this to happen. Like, conditional formatting. That's what I mean. CS time. I love the live streams morning. I won't lie to you. Like, if I ever stream, like, I can't not do the morning stream now because it just doesn't hit right. Like, if you don't have that, like, early morning context, I don't feel like I'm allowed to say anything about the day, you know? Like, it feels, that's how strict it feels on me.
Like, if I didn't even cover this, I don't even get to talk about it. Like, yeah, I can sit here and review it all I want, but I don't get to sit here and talk about, you guys should have known it was going to do this, 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 or that. Like, I hold myself to that standard because it just doesn't feel right when you are actually taking a trade. You're just not going to talk that way. Okay, heading over to my breakfast cafe. I will check back in with you in about 20 minutes. I'm probably not going to be in here in 20 minutes, but I will see you in the Discord, Sand Dollar. But I hope you have a great time at your breakfast cafe. Today was just buying the pop. Puts paid so well. Yeah, I mean, after that little bit of upside too, I feel like it was totally fine for anybody in here to be a little skittish on it, to be a little cautious. I feel like most of you were, so I don't think I have to really push that point home. But it really felt like a lot of you kind of had that early premonition of like, okay, this buying is bullshit. Even if you didn't think we were going to make more lows or anything, it was just like, I could definitely tell a lot of you were skeptical of the recent movement, which, good. I'm glad. But don't miss out on, I don't want to see any of you be like in a year and a half, 2, 3, 4 years from now, whatever amount of time it's going to take, and we're at new all-time highs, or we're near all-time highs. Like, I don't want to hear anybody in chat ever be like, yo, I really wish I would have bought some shares down here. Because I don't want to be that person at the other end of that stick that's also like, yo, that's all we did was talk about that in here. Because that's all I've done. Each time I've pulled up these rare couple streams I've had here and there, that's all I've talked about, besides, of course, the other usual stuff we talk about, like the system and stuff. But outside of the options market, you know, like, it is very important to own shares of companies. I truly believe long-term is everything. You have to remember, options trading is a simple tool. It is a tool for equity traders. It is a tool, not their entire gig. That is not their entire thing. That is not their entire life, their livelihood, right? It's just a tool. That is what it should be to you, right? The market is an investment. You can get into it, hold long term, bam, your future's set. Now, not your future's set. I hate saying it like that, but buying companies you believe in, buying a couple here, a couple there, not buying too much, not putting all your chips in one place at once. Dollar cost averaging, dollar cost averaging, dollar cost averaging. This is the kind of market for that. Because you're not going to buy once. Let's say you have $10,000. You're not going to go do NVIDIA and be like, oh, it's under 100. I'm going to buy it at 93. You're not going to sit there and buy it all at 93 and then expect that to be the low of forever, right? There is that chance it goes under 93 and your 10,000 is now slightly in the red. And you're going to be sitting there going, oh, should I sell? Should I take $1,000 loss? Should I take this? Should I do that? When in reality, you could have settled and balanced it out a little bit better. You could have totally kept that balance, but no, you dumped all 10K at once. When in reality, could have just put a little bit here, put a little bit there. A couple months go by, a couple little bit here, a couple little bit there. A couple months go by, a couple little bit here, a couple little bit there. Little bit once a month, even. A little bit once every other month, you know? But do not be that person in my chat, and 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever amount of years go by from now, do not be that one person in my chat that's like, yo, I didn't buy anything. All I did was trade options. I don't want to see that. I don't. The fact that Kaizen had to type out 50950 hurts me. 50950 is crazy. Yeah, not crazy like, oh, we can't ever do that. Like, no, you're you're right. Probably will. I don't even have it marked, so I'm just gonna have to trust you. What do you think about that, Kaizen? Huh? All pressure's on you now. What's up, Kaizen? Good to see you, man. I always like seeing Good Life pop up. I could go on like a 2-week, 2-month, 2-year break. Kaizen Good Life is still going to show up. Not financial advice. Good to hear you. No, I'm with you, man. I think 510 is a good number, too, just psychologically. Like, you can see, I don't even have any levels marked under 51164. Someone like me, I would definitely be like, yo, 510. That's got to be the last number. There's no way. It's just a good psychological number. But really close to your level, so I'm only 50 off. But you're right, though. Wonder where that's coming from. And we're past the entire first phase of the day. That means an entire first phase of the day we just sold. No change. How is everybody in stream, though? I am about to end the stream, as previously stated. But, of course, if you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys want to go over anything, let me know. I would highly recommend reviewing this and the last stream I did on my channel. As I always state, the first, like, hour and a half, 2 hours are probably pretty focused. Anything after that, you could definitely tell I kind of go off the edge. So, fair enough. But definitely take your time to review that. Lots of awesome topics covered in pretty much every stream. But, yeah. And also, I really, really hope some of you take advantage of the latest YouTube playlist I put out. It's over 4 hours long. And it's not as much as, like, oh, I'm charting this, I'm charting that. I mean, it does have charting in it, an explanation of charts, but there's a lot more talking and ranting and thinking and the understanding and the deeper concept behind everything and expectations, understanding what's strong, what isn't, what has more impact than others, what doesn't. You know, it just having an understanding behind everything you're trying to do, really. But yeah, I didn't think I was going to make it to 11 after not really sleeping. But here we are. And I'm glad I did the stream. Good long stream. Got a bunch of good topics covered a little bit more. Got to talk with a couple of you on a more personal level. $5.11.50 hit. Wild. I've been done in chill. See, that's what I mean. Like what Carter said. Like, kind of having that understanding of, like, we hit that thing I thought we were going to hit, now I'm going to chill. Like, it's not any deeper than beyond that. And I'm probably explaining it like a child, but isn't that the best way to explain things? So we can further understand it. Need to day work. Ah, you're good, Maddie. I probably owed you a little from the last time anyway. Glad I didn't miss the stream this time. Appreciate it. I'm glad you were here too, Alexis. And remember to message me. Actually, I'll just message y'all. I'll just message you. Because I would like to get some dudes in here. Kevo, I know I could pretty much call up on any time. Kevo's like a mortal lock for streams. I can bring him in anytime I want. But that'd be cool to have Alexis in here for like a lifetime thing. Or Alexis, if you have any more notes on any of your stuff, please let me know in that lifetime channel. I think you have access to it. You, username, a couple of other guys always keep me updated. But if you have anything on watch, drop it in there. I check that channel every day, even if I'm not actually typing anything. Just because it's, I don't know, I just see it as like a check channel for some reason. But if you ever have anything extra on watch, let me know. Carter, I've overthought this for too long. Man, out of context, that message would be hilarious. I've overthought this for too long. Dot. Space. Trying to kiss. But in reality, he's saying, I've overthought this for a long time. Or for too long. He's trying to keep it simple, stupid. That's what KISS stands for. Keep it simple, stupid. Out of context, though, that's hilarious. That'd be great. I will, fam. Yeah, please do, Alexis, because I honestly really do enjoy when you guys post charts, because, like, it's not like, oh, did 100 people see it and react to it and trade it? Like, no, it's like, it's like a good thing on you to do. And also because it helps me actually follow what you're doing. But, two, it's good on you because it's like a routine. And not like you need to be posting every day or every week. I'm just saying when you do see something, drop it in there so I definitely don't miss it. Also, that gives me no excuses. I've been keeping my eye on Moderna, though. UNH, stuff like that you've been saying. J&J. And yeah. I wish I would have posted that IWM swing a day early for my gang. But I didn't, so we're missing out on that. But this chart did really good. I was basically saying today that this should fall. Should. Underline should. But yeah, thank you guys again for this stream. I really hope I was able to fulfill anything. Thank you for the questions, King Carnage. Thank you for all the different personal talks with anybody in here. What else? I hope you guys enjoyed a lot of the updates, some of the information I covered. I don't just sit here and rant. I actually go over things that are actually part of the system. I try to break things down to a further extent just because, I mean, I'm not really the smartest guy either. I like to break things down so I can understand them. But it's also just good to do that, because then by doing that, you further instill it into your memory. And by doing that, you're able to act on it using your muscle memory. You'll be more reactive trader. You'll be able to take the facts in a little bit quicker and react to them quicker, not just act out on big red candle, break level, you know, stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy the info, the streams, the new playlist that's out, over 4 hours long. Please check it out if you haven't already. All the new stuff, all the old stuff, all the in-between stuff, whatever the hell. But thank you guys for being here. Love you all. Drop a like on the stream, share the stream link around, and like I said, check some of the content out. If you guys want to, go ahead and dive on over to the Discord. A lot of cool people in there typing, dropping updates, conversating. Get to know each other. Get to whatever. But yeah, see you guys later on, and have a great rest of your day.